Welcome to the 2018 ZBrush Summit, and this is the start of the festivities. We have the Sculpt-Off.
Yes.
And I'm here with Jessica Drew. She is more than gracious to come out here and spend her day with us as we venture into the unknown of digital sculpting in the Sculpt-Off here.
You're welcome.
So thank you for taking your time and coming out.
I'm here with Joseph Drust.
It is I.
He's an amazing sculptor in his own right. But this is the start of the entire ZBrush Summit weekend.
It is.
We've got
jam-packed. Jam-packed. And so for today, we have two groups of artists here. We have 6 hard surface and 6 organic for this first group. And then we have a secondary group this afternoon. They'll have another 6 hard surface and another 6 organic. And they are all competing for these belts back here.
Fabulous prizes.
The ZBrush Summit Sculpt-Off champions. So we have one for the hard surface winner and also for the organic. And these are big, big titles, you guys, big titles.
Yeah, this is bragging rights for the rest of the year until they get it torn away from them.
That's correct.
At the next year's
Or when they try to go through security at the airport.
Oh yeah, this doesn't travel so good.
No, but we got bags this year. They gave us bags, so they actually will be able to travel. Someone wore it, I think, through security.
I would wear it. You don't check that.
No. Get off my belt. So we have a jam-packed weekend, as we've mentioned. So some of you guys are wondering maybe what the theme of the contest will be this year.
There was a tiny little splash screen a bit earlier, but if you didn't see it or if you missed it, the theme this year for the Sculpt-Off is Tarot. Let me tell you your fortune via art.
Via art. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we've got a little list here that I have to follow. So I'm gonna try to stay on track here.
Rules.
No, I don't like rules. You've seen me before. You know I don't do this. So we want to go through, and first let's get into our sponsors who have helped us set up the Sculpt-Off here and have been generous to give us prizes and also different things that the winners will be receiving. So we first want to thank, where's my list?
We've got Noman, who's actually hosting the entire event here on campus.
They allow us to use their studios and their equipment and unplug things and all sorts of stuff, and then disrupt their classes, everything. And so they're very generous to do that. We also want to thank Form Labs. They are giving the winners of the Sculpt-Off, so the hard surface champion and the organic champion, one of their Form 2 printers. So very awesome prize there.
Because there's nothing a sculptor wants more than to print out their stuff.
Exactly. And so you could win the Sculpt-Off and then also print your winning one. And then maybe you could make money on the side selling your winning really Sculpt-Off.
Oh, you could have a 3-dimensional tarot deck.
You could. All 3D. Yeah, have them popping off the cards. That'd be kind of cool.
We also have Keyshot as one of our sponsors. And all of the final images you're going to be seeing of the different sculpts from today are going to be done in Keyshot.
And we're using the ZBrush Keyshot bridge to send those over there, and Keyshot has provided us with all the licenses on all the machines here for the Sculpt-Off competition. We also have Wacom, and they have been giving us the Cintiqs and the tablets that the artists are using. This year we have quite a number of Cintiqs in here. I think there's 8 total.
I love Cintiqs.
Yeah, so we have 8 of the hard surface and organic competitors here using 8 Cintiqs each group. So we have 8 in this group and then 8 in another group. So lots of Cintiq usage.
And plenty of folks just prefer a tablet.
They do, it is. It's up to their choice. We also want to thank Carbon. They are going to give the 3rd place winners of the Sculpt-Off here a free print on their excellent printers. So another great prize there for that. And those prints turn out really nice too. So good stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Paul's, we should have had one. I'll have to bring Paul.
Then
Group
the
2 will bring
really
one down and show it.
What do you print?
Yes. What do you print? You don't know. You don't know. So back to the competition. So once again, we're going to start this on time today. So we got 9 minutes till go time here. We're going to ring this loud bell here and start our timer. Our artists are prepping right now, doing their final list of stuff. Another thing we threw into the mix this year for the competition is that it is a vanilla challenge.
Oh, that's really important.
Not only are we doing tarot cards, but all the contestants here are starting from a base install of ZBrush. So they weren't allowed to bring any custom brushes, no custom ZBrush materials, nothing. They just have to use ZBrush. So if you downloaded it, got your license, you installed it, that's what they have.
Yep.
Now
It'll
they
be
were
very
allowed
familiar.
2 things. They were allowed to bring their hotkeys, so a text file for their hotkeys and a text file for their UI, and that is it. So it is the vanilla challenge. So everything you see here is obtainable, fully obtainable.
You
with
can do
just
this too.
using the standard version of ZBrush. So you don't need to go download any plugins. You don't have to have a custom brush set or anything. It's purely ZBrush. And we've encouraged them to kind of mix and match and use a lot of the assets that we have inside of ZBrush to kind of kit bash and do things. So hopefully we'll see a lot of exciting stuff happening here.
Super great. It's a really great idea too, because like some of the most interesting sculpting happens in that initial figure it out stage.
Yes.
So I think the first 20 minutes of everybody's sculpts are going to be just like,
pretty good.
oh.
All right, so let's see what else we got here. I got a list.
Well, we
Back
got to
the
tell
list.
people where they can vote, because
Oh, yes.
it's not us choosing the winner of the Sculpt-Off. In fact, it's going to be kind of a blind voting online. You'll see all their final images, and then you get to vote on your favorites for both hard surface and organic, because there's a winner for each.
And that will be done on ZBrush Central, so we'll have the post up for that for the voting. And we're also trying to keep this as anonymous as possible.
Secrets.
So we won't be saying anyone's name while they're sculpting here, so we're just going to go through the art and focus on that primarily. Also, as another thing, me and Jessica, each contestant was given a tarot card, an
Yes.
individual tarot card. So they're not going to be sculpting the same things. And as of now, me and Jessica have no idea
We're going to guess
what they're
along with you
sculpting.
guys.
Yes. So we're gonna play along, and you may hear us go, "Oh, well, is it the King of Cups? I don't know. Is that a cup? Is that a pen?"
We decided to stick
don't
with
know.
the major and minor arcana. So it's your face cards that you see in the familiar
and then just
playing
the
deck
ones
of
with
cards.
I guess the suit cards. like
Yeah,
the
so
suit
the face cards for the suit deck, and then the major arcana, which is the fancy ones like the Fool, the Emperor,
Hermit, the
the
Devil.
Hanged Man. A lot of inspiration, because
Yeah, there's tons of
actually
stuff.
there's a lot of like meaning supposedly behind all of the cards, like themes and ideas or archetypes and whatnot. So they've got a lot of like inspiration to pull from.
Yeah, and a lot of different people have been doing takes on the tarot cards for a while. So it was a really
For
cool
ages.
idea. I think it's we're gonna get some fantastic stuff out of this.
I am extra excited for this challenge.
Extra excited.
So everybody's doing their own card. There's going to be no duplicate cards for all of the sculptors overall.
There'll be the hard surface has their set, and
Right.
organic has their set. So
Oh, okay.
in the end, the theory is that you would have a
You'd
hard
have like
surface
a-
ZBrush deck and a organic
Ooh.
ZBrush deck of tarot cards.
That's going to be really exciting to see at the end of it all.
Yes. But so if we think one is, say, like the hermit, then there's only gonna be one hermit. So if we see another one that's like a hermit, we can't have
Yeah.
two hermits.
Not unless if it's organic or
That's
hard
true.
surface.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if two folks sitting next to each other happen to be
time.
working on the same card but
That's
hard
right.
surface?
All right, so we're gonna go through the schedule quick here, and then we're gonna start this. So we've got 5 minutes till go time. 5 minutes. So we'll pull up,
Countdown.
see if we get a scheduling. Well, actually, we can probably go through the schedule, and then we'll run through the artists quick that are competing in Group 1, since we didn't do that yet.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It is a packed weekend.
It is a packed weekend. And if you guys are on site, we're also doing a Michelangelo challenge. So if you show up, you'll be able to enter into that as well. And we're also offering a discount across these summit days here. So it's 20% off of ZBrush.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
It is a
because
pretty sweet
That's
deal.
a perpetual license. Like, that's ZBrush for life.
Yes, it is. We have not charged for upgrades since ZBrush has started.
It's a pretty magnanimous of you guys at Pixologic.
I've got a lot of use out of it. I bought it when it was cheap.
Oh gosh, when did I bought mine right after school. I don't like pirating software if I can help it, especially since I'm making a living off being an artist.
This is true.
So I own ZBrush, I own Photoshop. Some people might think that's a bit foolish, but I love it.
It's
Great
not
program.
foolish.
Beautiful art. got some amazing artists, like really
Tons
incredible
of
talent here today.
Tons of talent. So we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes till. We also want to bring up that we would love to see how you guys are watching the Sculpt-Off and the ZBrush Summit. So if you use the hashtag ZBrush Summit on Twitter, send us your images, how you guys are hanging out. Are you in pajamas right now?
Yeah, give us your
Do
selfies.
you have like 6 coffee cups going? Like,
Are you sculpting along with us? Doing
do you have your own tarot? Are you doing a
personal-
seance? Like, there's all sorts of stuff you could be doing right
It's almost Halloween, so I'm super into this. Give us some spooky stuff too.
Yeah, so send us your images. We'd love to see how you guys are watching the summit.
Yeah, hashtag ZBrush Summit.
ZBrush Summit.
I'm going to be poking around Twitter a little bit throughout the day.
pull up
I
some
want to see
stuff.
what you're up to, but please join us.
And, all right, so we're gonna go to our bell here.
Oh,
We're gonna get it going. So here we have our lovely ring bell, and this thing is very loud.
it's super
It's
loud.
very loud.
Be prepared.
And
Let
we're gonna
me
make it
your
loud.
volume a little bit.
And then we're gonna ring this. Everyone right now they're on their marks, they're ready.
They have
Just
reference
waiting,
up. They have ZBrush up.
waiting
And nothing
for this
else.
to start. And if you see our screens here, we have a monitor here that shows like all the 6 of each area. So we just flip back and forth. And so we're gonna try to hit on any of the action stuff we see and going on. We're watching some of the feeds too, so if you guys are like, oh, I want to see the one that looks like this, we might be able to help you see that as well. All right, so to start off, the 2018 ZBrush Sculpt-Off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was not the right button.
That was not the right button. They get an extra 10 seconds.
Yeah, you get microseconds.
Microseconds. And we're off. All right, so now we're going to try to not, me and Jessica are controlling the visuals here. There's all these keyboards, there's levers we're pulling, it's crazy. So we're gonna go for our first set here, and let's take a look at our organic people. So here we have our 6 organic artists, and once again, we're keeping this anonymous, so we have no clue who's who. We also don't have any clue on what character they are sculpting for their tarot card here.
But we're really excited to guess
We're really
along
excited,
with you guys.
yes. So is there any tarot cards that are spheres?
Well, there's the sun card.
There is a
actually.
sun card. You
Like,
can definitely,
let's not...
definitely do the sun card.
So the deck that we're going to be using as our reference today is the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, which is some of the really, really old, like early 1900, like 1901 deck. But I'm certain that these guys are pulling reference from all over. Like
Everywhere.
There's the Crowley deck. There's a lot of modern decks. There's some crazy, like esoteric 1970s tripping on acid decks. I cannot wait to see
What they're pulling
exactly
from.
what folks are going to pull their inspiration from.
And you'll notice here with these guys sculpting here for the organic side, you can see that they're starting, like the one over here in the upper, I guess that's my right, has the full skeleton. And so with this challenge, since it is the vanilla challenge, they are allowed to use anything that ships with ZBrush.
Yep.
So pulling from stuff that's in Lightbox that ships with ZBrush, pulling IMM parts that ship with ZBrush.
Yep.
I'm hoping somebody uses Earthquake, because he's my favorite.
Yeah?
He's my favorite.
Well, like, there's also a lot of there's just a basic lady figure, a basic dude figure. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they can jumpstart straight into
Straight
the
into it and then
creative
start getting it.
decision-making.
Yep.
But like, I'm super hoping we've got like maybe the Hierophant.
Oh yes. Oh, Jessica right now is sorting the cards so we can
I'm
kind of
just
get
checking
it,
out all of the major
things.
arcana. That's
all right,
like,
so we're gonna
all the characters.
We're gonna hop over to the hard surface one really quick so you guys can see the 6 of those. We'll be back and forth and doing the zoom ins and doing the zoom outs. It's gonna be crazy, crazy.
Now, do you find the approach for people working on organic and hard surface to be very different at this stage?
Yes, sometimes. I mean, it depends. I guess you're all looking for silhouettes and forms, and we'll see a lot of that with our artists here, where they'll go through and they're trying to get their main focus for their lighting and stuff like that. And we gave the artists a period of time to, practice. So we didn't just hit them today that you got to make a tarot deck, go at it.
It
So
wouldn't be a very good show where they're like flipping through a book being like, what the heck is this card?
Yes.
What does it mean?
So we definitely gave them some prep time, and a lot of them have spent many hours practicing.
How much prep time did you get? Because like
gave
a lot
them
of
a
folks
month.
ended up driving or
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah, we gave them a month ahead of time, pretty
Nice.
much. little bit more than that. And so they had some leeway to, practice, work things out. Because 3 hours is not a lot of time.
No, it isn't.
And especially when we strip everything away from you. Like, no, you can't use that brush.
Yeah,
nope, not this year.
None of your special fancy eyeball brushes.
Nope, none of those. Not today. So we got good starts here. Let's see a lot of usage with
top left. I'm gonna call it. That's gonna be our devil.
Well, what do you think? We got some death or devil? Which one's it?
Well,
we got some
I'm gonna
spells
look
here.
at the major arcana. You can look at your
Oh, my minor arcana.
your suits.
Well, I think my suits. What I'm going for the suits, I think, is when you start seeing the swords, the cups, or the pentacles. I think,
yeah,
or
when
the
you
wands.
start
So you got wands, swords, and pentacles. And I think those, if any of those make it into here, then I'd say that would definitely be one of those cards. But I think they're going to come in later. I don't think I'd add my.
I would start off with my
major forms and then add the
pieces.
cups all over the place, all sorts of things. So yes, the summit, the Sculpt-Off this year, the theme is tarot cards. So each of the contestants here, they sent in a list of their 5 top cards. We're pulling from the major arcana and from the suit cards, I guess, or the face cards from minor arcana. I don't know how you describe
so like
that.
your knights, your aces, kings, queens.
And so they were giving us, they made a list of their top ones, and then their names were drawn from a bowl. I don't think it was a hat. I think it was a bowl. And they went through, and if their name was called, we'd go through the list and see which card they picked. And if number 1 was already taken, then it'd go to their number 2, and it'd go down the list like that.
Nice.
So every single person in hard surface has a different tarot card, and every single contestant in organic has a different tarot card.
And overall, we've got 24 total contestants, right?
That's correct. So we have 2 groups of 12 that are going, and they're split 6 hard surface and 6 organic each group. So it should be pretty cool to see what they make here. So we're going to hop over to organic again. We're just going to do this 6-on-6 for a little while now, because you can kind of see how everyone's working and blocking things out. It gives you the most visibility across the entire stuff here.
Yeah. Especially the stage is very like rough forms, like large shapes and whatnot. And then we'll go in a little bit closer later on. Ooh,
oh, we got some cool ones here. So
what do you think the goat's going to be?
I don't know. That one's pretty good though too. And you see usage of, say, Z-spheres in the corner there. We have some mannequin usage. Julie model in the middle. Julie's always a favorite one.
Ah.
So all sorts of different things. And this year too, they have a template, and the template is a tarot card. So they're all restricted to a certain format. And so what they're doing, they're sculpting the 3D version of a tarot card, and this way it actually fits in a standardized format too. And you guys, when this is over, you'll be able to judge for the winner on who wins the hard surface and the organic, and that'll be done on ZBrush Central. And on ZBrush Central, these will be displayed in the format with the border, the ZBrush tarot card border.
Nice.
And then along with that, they'll have the name of what each card is. So you can kind of compare it that way too. So you can see, does this really look like the devil, or does this really look like this?
Well, and each card has kind of like a lot associated with it. Like one that Joseph drew earlier today was temperance, which is a lot to do with like balance and compromise.
I never trip. Never trip.
Yeah. So I mean, how that's interpreted could be entirely different than how the next person interprets it, because it's kind of like an overall concept, which for artists is really awesome.
It is really
you
cool.
want a lot of flexibility to like create.
There's sometimes where it's too much, but that's only usually if you have art directors. You need to steer back into shape. But yes, but tons of different things here. And we need to shuffle the cards, and I need to make you draw one and see what you get.
All right.
We need that too.
I probably will never get temperance. Let's be real.
And once again, this is all obtainable by you guys at home. So their custom brushes has been removed. This is a vanilla challenge this year, so they have to use with what ZBrush shipped with.
Bottom right is kind of like a supplicant's pose. Do you think that might be a high priestess?
Oh, could be a high priestess. And they also could do the sculptural elements of things in the background too. So you could have like all sorts of little deities, like I don't know, like some of these tarot cards here we're pulling from with, as Jessica mentioned, we have the Smith Waite deck here. And the funny thing about the Smith Waite deck is it was actually called the
Rider
weight deck. And Pamela Smith was never accredited until recently.
And she's the artist.
She's the artist.
Which is the whole dang point of the cards, is how cool the art is. Or, I mean, I'm probably perceiving that in my own way.
I think you can do that. All right, let's see. Hold on, let's see if we can get a camera here. I think it's this one. There we go. Boom. All right.
All right, I gotta choose my tarot card. So this is what I would have sculpted if I was participating.
You gotta put it on your forehead too.
Oh, put it on my forehead?
Yes.
Right.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm the fool! I actually really love the Fool. It's like a very dreamer card. Not always aware of the danger you're about to get in. Oh, see, look how rad yours is.
I got like angels and wings and halos. And
it had a lot to do with the church,
cups.
actually. Let's see what the Fool has to say.
All right, we're going back because I know you guys love seeing us, but you want to see the people sculpting. You'll see us. Oh, so people would like to know the meanings behind them. Can you read the meanings of the Fool and Temperance?
Well, so the Fool is folly, mania, extravagance. That is me. Intoxication, not so much me. Delirium, frenzy. Now, if I had pulled it upside down, it would have been negligence and absence and carelessness and stuff like that. But can you imagine getting the Fool card and trying to like kind of represent delirium and mania?
Yes, all sorts of stuff. Tons of creative outlets.
That could have been like totally shown off in like color choices. Yeah, some 70s acid trip. The Fool suits the 70s quite well. But then Temperance, like we said, was balance and economy, moderation, frugality.
Frugality.
Which, you know, Joe's got a lot of balance. He manages a lot here this weekend at the ZBrush Summit.
It's a lot of stuff, but the going vanilla has made the setup a little bit easier this year. So
oh my goodness.
As much as the artists are on.
It does put a sort of like artistic restriction on the artists. But it means that everything that you're seeing is stuff that you're going to be familiar with. And if you're new to ZBrush, this is a little bit less intimidating because they're using brushes that you have access to. They're using Z tools that you're super familiar with. And I hope that you're poking around. There's a lot available in ZBrush now.
Yeah, and the other thing, it even shows off more of their artistic prowess. Because this is from nothing. Like, I mean, you're starting from nothing. And this is what they're doing in 3 hours. Which is also not a lot of time.
It is
from just
none.
If you sat the artist down and just like, hey, here's a new version of ZBrush. What can you do? Now a lot of the art directors and jobs may now hype up their delivery schedule. Oh, I saw you at the summit. You did that thing in 3 hours. Why are you saying this is going to take 2 weeks? So, lots of fun. All right, so we're still looking at the hard surface side? This is the organic side. We're still on organic.
This is organic.
Yes.
I think.
So all sorts of different things here. And you can see we gave them the option to bring their own custom UI text file and their own custom hotkeys, but that's it. So you can see some people have already customized their UI some.
Just with colors.
Just with colors. So it's all still obtainable with the default installation of ZBrush here.
Well, so if you guys aren't familiar with tarot, the faces, so what you see on your normal playing card deck, you've got similar association, right? Like diamonds is a lot like wands, I think. Hearts and cups are friends.
It's because you can use it like, it's a card game originally. Like you played it like cards, and then it just went into the divinity type aspect for projections and futures and.
Yeah. Well, actually, a lot of my friends who are storytellers use the tarot deck to sort of help them out of creative
that's a good idea.
crunches, where they're kind of at a loss for where to take a story to go, or finding like a convincing motivation for a character. So they'll pull out their tarot deck, they'll lay out the cards, and they'll try to make it make sense for the character's motivations or for what's going on in the universe that they're writing. And it sort of kind of gives them a guideline to maybe have a better understanding of what they're trying to create. It's like a really cool creative tool. It's not all scary demons
stuff.
And stuff.
Yeah.
I promise you guys, it is
now,
what
if
you make of it.
If you grab death, is death like really, really bad?
Ooh,
like, what does it say in there?
Let's see what it says.
Here, let's hop over to hard surface where we read about the death card.
So death isn't necessarily bad. It's the end, mortality, destruction, or corruption.
Oh.
Now, if you were kind of thinking about like maybe a project or a game or something that you'd been working on for a long time, drawing the death card doesn't mean that the game's gonna die, but
Yes.
it might just mean a successful solution to what you've been working on. Or it might mean mortality, which isn't actually bad.
It's true.
Like, we all live and die and make room for the next. And
Back to the earth.
creation has to have destruction. Like, sculpting is very much so a combination of destroying something you've created and building something up.
This is true.
So you
There's a
can't
lot of
have-
times where you have to destroy in order to get better at stuff. You gotta let some of the art go and redo it.
So I'm hoping we're gonna get a high priestess in our tarot. And so
We have
the-
a high chance.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, you already know, don't
I
you?
know. I don't know at all.
Oh shoot.
I don't know what I am.
Who did the choosing?
Paul did the choosing. He kept me in the dark, as always.
Good.
And so me and you have no clue what is going to happen here.
Well, I'm hoping that there's going to be a high priestess, and she's kind of secrets and mystery, a future that hasn't yet been revealed.
We did have a little hiccup. We're in the hard surface. Now we're in organic. We made it there finally. I knew there was like a little bit too harsh on the other side.
Yeah, I was like, wow,
but
they're
I thought
using a lot
maybe
of
they were
hard
doing
surface
like
techniques.
some things.
And then, well, a little bit more about the high priestess. She's like silence, tenacity, wisdom, and science. More science? Oh, silence and science.
Silence and science. Science is the silent killer. Is that the?
The Empress, fruitfulness, initiative, action, long days, clandestine, the unknown, difficulty, doubt, or ignorance. Wow, that's a broad range.
Yeah, we've got a lot to read here. We should have. I feel I studied up some, but not enough. I feel I need to go back to school.
I make art. But then again, they only have like a little like snippet that they've got to worry about for their individual
That's
art
true.
piece.
They are very focused right now.
Do you think we're gonna have a magician?
I hope so. Magician would be cool. So if you're just joining us, you're watching the ZBrush 2018 live Sculpt-Off. This is group 1 here. So we have 6 organic and 6 hard surface contestants battling it out. We have a second group, which will be later today, and that'll be another group of 6 hard surface and 6 organic. The contest theme this year is tarot. So we gave each of the contestants their own tarot card. We had they had to pick their 5 top ones that they would want to make. And then their names were drawn out of the hat, and then they went through and we decided which card they get. So there's gonna be no repeat cards on the organic side and no repeat cards on the hard surface side. So there will be a chance to have a death on the hard surface and a death on the organic, but that's gonna be the end there.
But they'll look super different.
Yes, they'll look
Everybody
super
interprets stuff.
So it should be pretty cool, and me and Jessica have no clue who's doing each of the screens, and also
what their inspiration is.
Yeah, what the card is, what they need to do. We have no clue. So we're guessing along with you guys. So please use the hashtag AskZebra, or no, that's the one I usually do.
ZBrush Summit.
ZBrush Summit is the one you want. Hashtag ZBrush Summit, and send your guesses in. So if you think,
Yeah, screenshot the thing and be like,
oh, this one
that's
must be
definitely-
this, must be that. So have fun guessing along with us because we don't know, and we may choose the wrong ones. Voting for the Sculpt-Off will be done we'll start tomorrow, and that will be on ZBrushCentral.com. On ZBrush Central, we will have the image, which will all be formatted to look like a tarot card. So everyone has to submit the same resolution image in here, and it'll fit inside this nice little ZBrush border we have on the card. And the name of the card will also be on there, so you guys can compare the name to the sculpt when you're voting as well. So.
And like look stuff up, because what you make your voting criteria would be maybe different than what we make our
Yes,
voting criteria.
this is true. So we're gonna see if we can go through our sponsors here really quick. So we have a bunch of sponsors that are allowing us
Prizes.
and giving us prizes, and also access to the machines and hardwares and the labs we're using here. So let's see if we can get our sponsors here quick. So we want to thank our sponsors this year for the summit here. So we have Gnomon. Gnomon was gracious enough to allow us to use their studios and their campus. We go around and unplug a lot of stuff and plug Cintiqs in and all sorts of stuff. So thank you for them for allowing us to use their spaces here. Formlabs we want to thank. They are giving the first place winner of the hard surface and the first place winner of the organic a free printer. So they will be taking home a Form 2 printer. The winners will be. We also want to thank Keyshot. They're allowing us to use Keyshot on our machines here. And this will also allow the artists here for the Sculpt-Off to use the ZBrush to Keyshot bridge to send their models for rendering. And then they can do layer compositions between ZBrush and Keyshot assets.
And they're providing the second place prize,
Yes,
where the
they are.
artist who wins second place
And they're getting a
gets their
whole
own
package from Keyshot
Nice.
there. So a lot of goodies there for the second place winner. I also want to thank Wacom for allowing us to use the Cintiqs and tablets. So they supplied 8 Cintiqs this year for the Sculpt-Off. So we had this is the largest percentage of Sculpt-Off artists that wanted to have a Cintiq this year.
Nice.
So we have 8 out of the
My
12
peoples.
stations are set up with Cintiqs, and then the rest have tablets. And it was a preference, so artists sometimes prefer tablets, sometimes prefer the Cintiq.
What do you
so
prefer?
I've gone Cintiq. Originally, I was not a. I didn't know for sure which way I was going to go. I didn't like the Cintiqs at first, but I've grown to like them.
I love my
And
Cintiq.
also Carbon, we want to also give a shout out to them. They are giving our third place winners a free print from one of their Carbon printers, and they're crazy printers. You can only
I would do like
rent
the
them.
gates of hell, where it'd just be like 10 jillion sculpts in it, and be like, yeah, is this okay for you
Is
guys?
this okay? Can you print this?
It's 6 feet tall.
I think there is a size limit, and
Zah.
there's also the printers. In order to, you have to lease the printers. You can't buy them. So you have to lease them from Carbon. So really cool stuff there for our winners of the competition. So thanks to all our sponsors. Also going to run through the schedule quick. So this is just the starting day of the summit. Now this is not the public starting day. So we do the Sculpt-Off on the Thursday, and this is only open to our Sculpt-Off contestants here. And then Friday, the official summit will start at 12 p.m. PST. So make sure to tune into that. And while you guys are watching the summit, we'd love to see how you guys are watching the event. So please use the hashtag
ZBrush Summit.
and send in your images. So we'd love to see you guys. You know, you're all grouped up together. You're at a pub, you're drinking beer, you know. What are you doing? How are you watching the
that'd
summit?
Be amazing. Actually, I've got some friends out in Norway who've got
There we
their
go.
whole classroom set up, and they're live streaming the Sculpt-Off today. And so I would love to see you guys say hi, wave, send a picture. But mostly, we've got people from all around the world tuning in. We have people from all around the world here today at the Sculpt-Off.
And so to get into the summit, it is a free just to be in LA. So we're on the Gnomon campuses here in LA. And
Come join us this
Yeah, just come in.
weekend.
So it starts Friday and then it'll run through Saturday and Sunday. Attendance is free, so you just gotta find parking and then show up.
Parking isn't terrible, promise.
And then you can partake in the events. Also on site, and on site only, we have the Michelangelo Challenge.
Are you going to participate in the Michelangelo Challenge? at all?
cannot.
Oh,
I
you're too
cannot.
busy, or
They won't allow me.
That's cheating.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cheating.
something with cheating here.
Now, there's a prize for the Michelangelo Challenge as well.
There is. Let's see if we can talk about that. So the Ultimaker 3 extended printer is going to be going through this. And we see if we can get a camera on us really quick. There we are. So we have the Michelangelo Challenge that
We
we're
have
running.
to still push ourselves.
And this is another one that we've gone through and just crippled the artists again. So we're giving them 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and they take
we
a
love
just
we love making you
square
guys
block.
challenge. Yes. So we so if you show up on site, you can enter into this,
Mm-hmm.
and the grand prize for this will be an Ultimaker 3 extended printer. So that's almost a $5,000 printer.
Oh my goodness. Do you
Yes.
think these sculptors are going to also double their chances?
I think they all are. Yes. If I was here for the Sculpt-Off and they allowed me to enter,
No, that's true.
I would
That's true.
totally do that. So this, once again, we're at 2 hours and 30 minutes left. So we've already burned almost 30 minutes of the time here.
Oh, you round up.
I do.
It's
always.
barely over 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's
so
not a
far.
lot of time. We did that.
Yeah, only 3 hours.
That 7 minutes isn't a lot. So. But these are the belts here that the winners will be taking home. So we have the hard surface champion and the organic championing. Champion. Let me say champion, correct?
It's
And once
still
again,
early.
it is still early. Second group, we're going to do so much better. And once again, the theme this year is tarot cards. So we have our little deck of tarot cards here, just throwing them around. And all our artists. All right, so let's get back to the sculpts, because I know that's what you guys want to see here. You don't want to see my muscles.
What?
Oh, you only got like 2.5 hours. See, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. See, they have more than 2.5 hours with me.
Ah, you're putting the
group.
pressure on now, so that way it pays off in dividends later when they're less stressed.
They're less stressed.
I have 5 extra minutes I didn't think I had.
See, people know. There's no muscles here. No muscles. You guys love it. You love it.
Our hard surface.
Yes, back to the hard surface here.
Now, the hard surface that I'm most accustomed to doing is the sculpting and then honing the edges, but we've got some folks doing a lot of like cutaway masking.
Masking, probably some Boolean features. We got some Z-modeler in the middle there.
Oh, cool.
And this one over here with we got Z-spheres and hard surface and then like wires standing down.
Bottom right, hanged man.
I see one quote. What is ZBrush? I'm here for the muscles. There are no muscles. It was a lie. It's like the cake.
There's sculpted muscles.
There is no muscles. Jessica's got more muscles than me. Let's just go that route.
I rock climb my yoga, but it's lean muscle. Oh, you still rock climb, right?
I have not. I've see, this is why.
Too busy ZBrushing. It's okay.
Too busy. Too busy.
All right. Top left. Skeletal.
We definitely have some Terminator-ish stuff
What
going on.
if it's like one of the knights?
Could be a knight. What are our card choices? What do we have? Okay, we're gonna go through, and you guys can tell us. We're gonna tell you guys what we think they are, and then you guys can vote or just yell at us like that is totally not what
Knight
that
of
is.
Swords.
Knight of Swords for that one. Let's see.
Yeah,
Where's
let's
your
go
cards? Put the cards out again. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this.
But you've got your cards.
ZBrush lets you sculpt muscles. I like that one. That's a good
You
comment.
don't need muscles.
You don't need muscles when you can sculpt them. Oh, internets, you crazy.
Don't stop being you.
You do you, internets.
I definitely think we're gonna get a death because I mean we've got this skull up in the top right.
Okay, I'm going middle one, sun.
Oh, that'd be amazing. But it could also be like a halo behind one of the characters. There's a lot of characters that sort of feature
Because
a
also
holy presence.
the moon. The moon's one.
Yeah, there's the moon. There's the lovers.
Yes, the multiple characters. Would you lose
like doing a hard surface lovers because it's like such a organic sort of concept, but then to kind of create that digitally and that just sounds really cool.
So the voting for the Sculpt-Off here we have 2 groups that are going today. So this is group 1, and they're going for 3 hours, and then group 2 will be this afternoon, and they'll go for another 3 hours. Group 2 is starting at 4 p.m. So that's when the group 2 will start here, and they'll go 4 to 7 p.m. This is LA time. And the voting, after all the entries have been collected, will be done on ZBrush Central, and they'll start on Friday during the summit here.
How long does the voting go till?
Till Sunday. I'm not sure of the time. You can ask in the any of the hashtags there, and they'll give you the specific times.
Vote early, vote often.
That's correct. You can only vote once, though.
Vote early.
Vote once, vote early. So this voting will be done on that at ZBrushCentral.com. So make sure after you guys are watching the
top middle could also be
Sculpt-Off
the
here.
star.
Could be. Could also be maybe a pentacle.
So you're voting star, sun, or moon, definitely. Or it could be the pentacle.
Whoa, we got a sword down the bottom.
Oh, heck yes.
Queen of Swords, King of Swords,
Ace of Swords.
Ace of Swords, King of Swords, Ace of Swords.
Now, all the aces are sort of kind of like this ethereal hand holding, the club, the wand,
That's a good point.
sword.
It's a good point. It's not, it's a...
It's definitely a creature.
Could be part of Earthquake's hand. Earthquake hand would be the ace. I don't know. I haven't seen Earthquake yet. I'm just saying. Earthquake's the model in ZBrush.
Do you think anyone's doing a tower?
Oh, there could be a tower. Yes.
Tower is not a great card. Like, don't draw the tower.
But it could be, as in just like what it means.
From what I remember, I'm not an expert, and I really apologize for all that I will butcher the meanings and whatnot. But Anytime I've seen the tower drawn, it kind of sucks. Oh, here, let me read it for you.
Yes, let's find out what the tower is.
Misery, distress, and this is when it's not inverted. This is just like proper tower. Ruin, adversity, calamity,
tower.
disgrace, deception. So reversed, it still sucks. So it's in tyranny, imprisonment, oppression, but just not as bad as when it's face up. The tower
Seems like it might be the
awful.
worst one in here.
Like you're like, oh, death is terrible. Death is not terrible. Tower is. Don't get the tower.
So some of our viewers are saying that the top one may look like a Pokemon too.
Staryu?
Staryu.
I'm still playing Pokemon.
I am too.
There's a huge group of folks at Blizzard that get together and raid. Right now there's a Mewtwo raid going on, and I really suck at catching Mewtwo.
Oh, so I've gone even nerdier. I do the.
Oh, are you playing the game?
Oh
Are
yeah.
you playing
I
on
play
the Switch?
games. Yes. Well, the Switch one isn't out yet, but.
Shoot,
it's
but you
coming
will
soon.
then.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Now, are you playing the one where you can import stuff from Pokemon Go into your game?
Not yet. No.
You know what I really enjoy about video games? How it's made me the cool aunt. Like all my nieces and nephews, like we get together for Christmas, and I'll entertain the whole lot of them. There are a set of triplets and another one, like, and we'll just sit and play Terraria or Minecraft together, and I can keep them quiet, entertained for hours.
Hours.
Cool aunt, right here.
It's the way to do it. All right, so we're going back to our organic side here. Oh, look, we got some shadow box.
Ooh.
Oh man, someone's already got their card kind of in there. So we did give him a, so that's, if you saw that really quick in the bottom left, we gave him a spotlight file that had the border in which the final image will have as well. And so that one was just pulled up really quick there, so you kind of see the card. So the artist in that lower left corner there
lower
is
left
sculpting
is
and then using the
absolutely
framing of the stuff there.
They are absolutely the devil.
That's
now,
pretty
the card
awesome.
that we've got that we're seeing for the devil is like the devil with two different humans kind of imprisoned in
And we got two different humans here.
Yeah. It's
Man.
just really excellent how dimensional they're making it. Like, those hands are wicked. Now, they certainly could pull a hand from one of the Z tools in ZBrush, but now they've gone out of their way to make wicked claws and just like, I don't know, that's some gnarly hands. I actually love sculpting hands. There's so much emotive shape you can create with them.
They're so tiny.
Maybe your hands. Not the devil's hands. The devil's
Not
hands
the devil's
are
hands
huge.
are big.
Okay, definitely the devil. Bottom left. What else you seeing?
It's pretty cool.
Now
There's the card totem right there.
There isn't a goat in ZBrush, is there?
No, there's no goats.
There's a dog.
There's a dog. You could take a dog.
Do you think they
cut it
started
off.
with the dog and made the goat?
Maybe. I think we saw some of it. I think most of it was a spear. I think is that
Dang, these
the artist
artists
started
are
from
cool.
there. The middle one's got some. What do you think that one is?
The one where top middle, where they're already starting to color stuff in. Well, okay, we've got a couple cards featuring
Lovers.
women.
Lovers.
Yeah, there's lovers. There's the world. Strength. Temperance. Well, temperance is, gender ambiguous. But the empress, the high priestess. I'm going to pull out some of the ones that I think are a strong possibility. But like, considering how well she's like emoting sort of like this joy or ecstasy or something.
Pain. You never know.
Not nearly grumpy enough for pain.
Trying to remember which things we got here. Let's see what we can pull up here. What do you think the middle bottom is? You guys have any guesses for the middle bottom?
I love it though. I really love how different all these cards are going to be in the end of it all. Honestly, like you can make sort of an interpretation for a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be wands and I don't know, like the King of Wands, because like all of these
stuff
shoots
for
off the
wands.
head
Yeah,
are
it
very
could be wands. That'd be
crown-like.
good.
Yeah, it's very regal seeming.
So we are.
Wait.
we're under 2 hours and 30 minutes left now, officially.
I'll allow it, yes. They have exactly passed 32 minutes.
So if you guys just tuned in, you're watching the ZBrush 2018 Summit Live Sculpt-Off. This year's theme is tarot, and each of the contestants here have been given a different tarot card. So there is going to be a set of 12 unique tarot cards for the organic group, and then the hard surface group will have another set there. So in the end, there'll be 2 sets of tarot cards here, a hard surface deck and an organic deck. And the artists as well were given the restriction that they could not bring any custom brushes, anything like that. So everything you see here is being done with a installed version of ZBrush. So they had a fresh install of ZBrush, and that is all they could use. They could bring a text file with hotkeys and a text file with their custom UI, but that is it.
Yeah, we didn't want to hamper them too badly.
But they are allowed to use anything that comes with the ZBrush installed. So if you'll see people started, if you just tuned in a little while ago, you can see they started using some of the preset models that are in Lightbox inside of ZBrush. So the Julie model has made its appearance. We've also seen I think some of the anatomy models in there as well.
Nice.
So all sorts of things they can use from, some Z-sphere usage, all sorts of stuff. And some of them are all going through and still fleshing things out. So yes, they had to start from nothing. But it pretty much evens the playing field largely. So everything you see here is all obtainable. So if you just got ZBrush, you just installed it, you just get to see how skilled these artists are because they're starting from nothing, like really, really nothing, more than we've ever done before.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. Gosh, this is really beautiful. I really think this is going to be one of your cards. I think it's going to be.
You think it's going to be one of the
one
face
of the
cards
face
here?
cards of the suits.
And so they were allowed to pick from the major arcana and then the face suit cards of the minor arcana.
I'm calling it's one of the wands.
It's one of the wands.
Yeah, because it's very like
Wood.
branchy, tree-like.
Definitely. What do we have over here? Is there anything with trees on that? We got the cards laid out in front of us here. We're going through
Yeah.
them.
It's our
We
cheat
do
sheet.
not know which ones they're sculpting, me and Jessica here. So we have no clue. So we're guessing along with you guys.
I think that like they're going to sculpt in their whole idea, right? And then they're going to pose it. And I think the pose is going to give us a lot of information.
A lot of information. Well, we figured out that pretty sure this one is definitely the one here. Let's see, number 4 in the lower left.
Yeah.
Definitely, we're gonna go with the devil on
Definitely
that
the
one.
devil. I think our top right is death.
And then this is what they are restricted to. So every single entry has got to fit inside this card frame. So they need to look like cards when they're done. So we've given them a template. And when they're done, they'll go in the template. And then you guys will be able to vote on these at ZBrush Central. And the voting will start tomorrow. And so you'll be able to go there. You'll get to see all the entries for the Sculpt-Off. And also, while you guys are viewing this, we'd love to see how you guys are watching the ZBrush Summit. So if you use the hashtag ZBrush Summit, send in your images.
Yep.
We'd love to see if you guys are, eating cereal, sculpting along, laying down, maybe at the beach.
We've got
Where else can we put them?
an animator animating while they're watching our ZBrush Summit. That's,
Excellent.
Effects animator.
Lots of people sculpting along, looks like. And this is just the start of the summit festivities. So today is the Sculpt-Off. Tomorrow starts the Pure Summit, and that'll start at 12 p.m. here in LA. You can come for free on site, so it costs nothing to get into the summit on site. You just got to get over to the Noman campus.
If I could have found a Ouija or tarot themed shirt for you, I would have brought it. I actually did look for like a tarot theme, but I figured we'd go with ZBrush attire
We could have done a little both. We were going to tape cards to our foreheads. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. So here you have the organic side here, and we're going to switch over to the hard surface quick.
Excellent.
I'm still learning buttons here. I've been
There.
yelled at a few times.
And then give it a couple seconds.
This one should automatically go. Should be good here. There we go.
Okay, top right, definitely death.
Okay, so this one's we got it on the forehead now. What do we have on the
Ooh.
forehead?
Well, it could be a whole manner
Number
of
2
things
in the middle.
because You know, so
Top
it could be
middle.
the priestess, right? I was thinking like star, sun, moon style, but because it's kind of like this halo effect that's kind of coming off of the third eye, could be a priestess
It could
because
be
it's
a
a thing of
priestess. I like that.
secrets.
I like that.
It could be temperance. I mean, if we end up seeing like wings and stuff,
I like the eye.
it could be the Hierophant. You know, just because it seems feminine now doesn't mean that it is. And yeah, so the Hierophant.
What's the Hierophant? Let's read some information on it.
Servitude, mercy and goodness, inspiration. Come on, that sounds pretty sweet, right?
It does sound pretty sweet.
Alliance, and then yeah, so I don't know, that seems pretty convincing.
So the theme this year is tarot. So each artist here has been given a card from a tarot deck. They got to pick their top 5 that they would want to sculpt, and then we pulled their names out of the hat, and they were assigned a card from their top 5. So if you got your name pulled out and your number 1 choice was already taken, you'd move to the second choice. And so everyone has a different card here. I'm thinking number 6 here, the lower right, might be the Hanged Man.
Yeah, I was really feeling the Hanged Man for this one.
Yeah.
Because it is like this suspension, and the Hanged Man has a lot to do with like kind of like a tree, and they're doing something like super gnarled. Now, to do the Hanged Man and doing it hard surface style, like how to interpret, you know, this whole theme, but have it be hard surface. It's just gonna be really interesting. Do you think we're gonna get some like very like mech anime?
Could, yeah. What do you think about
style plugged in?
like Metal Gear Solid style with what was it, Octopus?
Now, all of our artists are coming from so many different backgrounds, like from games to movies to just all manner of things. So they're pulling from a wide background of experience.
Yes, lots of different talent here. That one in the bottom middle, number 5, the bottom middle there.
Knight of Swords.
Knight of Swords, I like it. Got a lot of robotic stuff happening. Yep, this one's, man, all those little.
Could also be the king, but it's
Could
like
be
a
the
knight. Like,
king.
look at all
It is
this
a knight.
armor.
It is a knight. It's definitely something with the swords.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome, though. Man, that's looking cool. So much stuff. Well, we got part of the number 2 at the top there, the middle. That's definitely got some different stuff going on there. We got half a head now. Kind of pulled the backside away.
So swords, the symbol is like the symbol that swords represent is like ambition and courage, conflict, change, power, oppression. So it's like power and oppression are kind of like opposites, but of the same sort of idea. So how you can kind of incorporate courage and power and all of that into your character is just, it's going to be interesting.
All right, I got some people messing with the rendering. They're getting their final setup there. Ooh, look at this. The star one's actually got some other stuff going on. I don't know what that one is. What do you guys think? Number 2 at the top. Any guesses from the internets?
Shoot, do you think they're doing a high priestess?
Well, the only guess we've had so far was that it was Star U. so it's a tarot card. It's quiet. Twitch is never quiet. Something must be broken. We got one for the sun. Could definitely be the sun. High Priestess. People agree with High Priestess on you too.
Yeah, I mean, well, because it's all like this symbol of power coming up off the third eye, and the more and more as a sculpt of the character behind this burst shows up, it could be a Queen of Pentacles too.
It could be.
Because I mean, the star and whatnot being represented is 5-sided. I mean, it's got like
this is true.
fancy doohickeys, but I don't know. There's a lot of interpretation and creative thinking on the part of the artist. I also just really love, their smart use of hard surface. Creating one thing really, really cool and then rotating it around.
Yeah.
So they're getting a lot of sculpts
symmetry,
for the price of one.
Now let's hop over to the organic side here. If it goes, gotta make sure I press the right button. There we go. Oh man, this has changed.
Ooh, justice.
Justice, judgment. Is it justice? Justice.
Well, there's a couple cards that sort of feature the scales, like
So the
in concept.
number 2, middle top.
But I think we're getting a
That's what
justice.
we're talking about now.
Now, unlike a lot of modern sculptures, justice isn't necessarily blind in tarot. It's got a judge kind of seated with a sword in one hand and balance in the other.
What's the history on that? What do we got?
Let me read what they say about justice.
Justice is not blind in tarot, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So if you guys are tuning in, the theme this
So-
year for the Sculpt-Off is tarot.
So justice is equity, rightness, probity, and executive. Now, if you reversed justice, if justice was upside down, it'd be law, bigotry, bias, and excessive severity. So it's the same sort of concept, but it can be taken for a positive or for like a negative, but it's a similar concept. All right, definitely a justice.
Definitely a justice.
Super feeling a hanged man. We've got a death, a devil.
So justice now has it's the one with the girl too.
Oh, I love it. Because now my card's featuring sort of an old King Solomon looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, justice in modern sculpture has always been depicted as a woman. You know, the Grecian
Yes, this
figure
is
of
true, yeah.
justice.
She's gonna be holding the scales, it looks like.
Nice. I haven't transitioned to the new gizmo at all.
Really?
I love the old school one.
You can still like the old one.
So much. But you're already like all about the new hotness.
The new hotness. I switch back and forth. But it does, the gizmo has definitely helped in terms of manipulation and changing things.
Oh, I mean, I feel like it gives the tool a whole new style,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Look at that, just a little bit there. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Taking that extra step there. Could have just had it just hanging out. All right, let's go back to all the organic ones here. This one over in the top right, top left. Number 1 is looking very ornate.
Empress.
Empress.
I think it's looking extremely regal. Now, it could be a queen of a particular suit, but I'm feeling Empress.
And you can see all the
Like, look
little
at how
details are all
elaborate.
shadow box and stuff.
Oh, is that what they were shadow boxing?
Yeah, that's what they were shadow boxing.
So they
all
were
the little-
masking something in and then either extracting out the mesh or just creating a shadow box from that to create a three-dimensional thing that they then...
Can manipulate, yeah. So the shadow box functionality will allow you to basically enter a mode and it'll allow you to use masking or shadows to create shapes. So you can just quickly create a
I love
mask, and then if you do it on the back side of the shadow box, it will give you an automatic thickness too. So it's very quick for creating things like you did here on the chest of the garment.
And let's just say sculpting that in, you know, vertex modeling, polymodeling, like, nah, no thank you.
Could also done maybe a spline format too, and like use some of the IMM curve brushes and generate it too.
Ooh.
But
Yeah, to
I
get like
think
really,
shadow
really
box
clean.
is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I think they might have just added a little bit of smooth to the brush for oh, and they made it their own like little mini subtool. So they
Yeah,
created
so
the
he's
thing.
making brushes on the fly. So we didn't allow him to bring any brushes, but they can create them. So this contestant here has gone through and created this brush, and now he's using it on the model.
Nice. So it's going to be an element that they're bringing in all over their sculpt.
Yes.
Dig it. Also, that's smart. You've only got
Totally
3
smart.
hours
You
to
only
work.
got 3 hours. Get what you need. So very cool. And that just gives it more functionality and manipulation they can do. So let's go back to the group again.
Bottom right. What are you thinking? Because like I was feeling
Number
sort of
6.
priestess, but now because it's like this.
I don't know. You guys got any guesses for this one that's on screen here now? The one's in the noisemaker? Any guesses, internet? Is there anything that looks like charred, burned?
Well, I think they're kind of approaching it from like a very like stone, earthen creature. Yeah, they're adding just some noise to the surface using kind of like a displacement.
The surface noise.
Yeah.
Adding just a little randomness, getting that sculptural quality done quickly. I don't know, what has...
I mean, it could be one of
face,
the more
anything that has, like-
esoteric cards, like Wheel of Fortune
Oh,
or
it could, yeah.
Judgment.
Yeah. We haven't seen it has any kind of other elements to it too, because it looks like it's definitely angled for something else. Like there'd be another structure.
Yeah, something that's
perhaps
like kind of like pulling the
draining or
face.
drawing
Yeah.
into it. Pretty interesting to see.
Could be the tower. Shit, who would choose the tower? That one's a wicked
Now that you've
card.
read it, it's awful.
Just so you know, the tower sucks all the time. Do not draw the tower.
Do not drown the tower. Oh, internet is saying that he had it on a pedestal over there. Could be the tower.
Fudge. So it's like the imprisoned soul within the tower. Ooh. Can you imagine if they represented both the normal and reversed meanings of the card?
Oh, on both sides? That'd be kinda cool.
That'd be asking a lot. 3
So
hours?
we have 2 hours and 10 minutes left currently. You guys are watching the live ZBrush Sculpt-Off here for the ZBrush Summit 2018. If you guys are watching, we'd love to see how you guys are watching the event right now. So please send in your images to hashtag ZBrush Summit. We'd love to see how you guys are watching it. If you're curled up on a couch, if you're running a marathon, watching the summit.
Or if you're going to be joining us later this weekend.
Yes.
You know, here in Los Angeles, up at the Noman campus. This thing's going on all weekend. Starting tomorrow.
All weekend long, starting on Friday. And we got tons of good artists lined up and companies doing demonstrations.
Yeah.
One that we definitely want to hit on is that Epic Games will be doing a presentation on Sunday, and you can only see that presentation if you're on site.
Ooh, so
that's
they're showing
another
off some
thing.
special stuff that they don't want the
Yes.
internet just
No,
to
it will
see.
not be streamed live. So if you want to see that presentation, you need to be here. And that will be at 12:30 on Sunday. In addition to other things you can do while you're here at the summit, we are also hosting the ZBrush Michelangelo Challenge, and that is only in person at the summit here at the Noman campus. And with that, you have 15 minutes to complete a sculpt. You can enter as many times as you like, time permitting, and no long lines. And the winner of that contest will receive an Ultimaker 3 extended printer. So another thing here, and as you mentioned earlier, pretty sure all the artists here that you see competing in this event are going to go and compete in that one as well.
Yeah. Well, also, it's just a really fun challenge. 15 minutes, one square to create something
Yes.
out of. I
Yeah.
love it.
And you just have to keep it so it looks like a stone. So you can go free. So this could be sculpted, what you're seeing in that bottom corner there with the, I don't know, what do you think? You think it's still tower?
I love what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
It's like it
don't
should be on
know.
the cover of like Iron Maiden.
Oh, heck yeah. This is definitely like a hardcore rock, heavy metal album style. God, it's so just wicked. It's like emptied in the middle.
Okay, we do have some arches. It could definitely be, where's the tower? Where's the tower card? Let's look at that one real quick.
This tower's just terrifying.
Yeah, definitely.
Could be Wheel of Fortune,
What do you think
You know-
this like leaf structure is?
or what it's going to be.
I don't know. Tricky.
Well, also
Tricky.
because the reference that they could be pulling could be from any deck.
It could
There's
be from any
so
deck.
much
Yes,
art
it's
out
not just
there
the deck
that's
we have. Yep.
Tarot themed.
It's more just the symbolism and the.
And also, a lot of decks like would have more modern magicians sort of interpreting what the cards mean, updating kind of like their relevance to a more modern or a more enlightened society.
Enlightened.
So, I can't believe no one chose the Fool.
Yet. One of these could be the Fool. And we just don't know. All right, so let's go over to the hard surface side here. Let's see what those guys are up to. So this is the organic. Our 6 contestants for organic here in group 1. I'll try to hop over there quick. Dun, 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 dun. So once again, you guys are watching the 2018 live ZBrush Sculpt-Off. We have a group of 6 for organic currently sculpting and a group of 6 for the hard surface. This is our first group of the day here. I'm getting help on the button presses right now. Fortunately, we've just been going with whatever you guys just send us. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So we have 24 artists here competing in the Sculpt-Off this year, and we have it broken into 2 groups. We have the 3-hour group that is split in 6 organic and 6 hard surface. And then later this afternoon, we'll have a second group with another 6 organic and 6 hard surface contestants. The contest theme this year is tarot. So each of the contestants was given they created a list of their top 5 cards they would want to sculpt. And their names were drawn out of the hat, and we ended up picking their first choice as it appeared, if it wasn't already taken, and then they were given that as their card.
Now I wanted to take a close-up look at each of our hard surface folks. Magician.
So we have 2 hours and 5 minutes left here on the clock. So 2 hours and 5 minutes. So we're almost an hour into the competition here, and these were all the artists are at for that. So we're 2 hours left.
Dam Standard is one of my favorite brushes. I use it daily.
It is a popular one. Have you tried the second one? There was,
Oh.
Damien released another one at last year's summit. Have you used that one yet?
Not at work, because
Lockdown.
it's so getting stuff put into the pipeline and then distributed as part of the build that's then propagated over all
Makes
projects.
sense.
Pain in the butt. But at home I have.
All right, we're gonna see if this works. So we got the hard surface ones. The one in the top right, number 3. That one's looking pretty intricate now too.
Death.
Man,
Well, have
it's pretty awesome.
we can take a peek up close at that one.
You got the cylinder.
Okay, just a second ago it was like the full zoom out. I swear.
I saw it. I was with you.
Well, I want to see what they're going to do with the disc.
Who knows?
But if they stay on the disc,
Radial symmetry.
we'll switch over to something else. You know, I never get to use radial symmetry in like day-to-day basis. I love it.
It's like a very
so
stylized
satisfying.
thing too. Like you.
For inorganic stuff, it makes super sense.
If you have things with just 2, like left and right symmetry, you're not really going to be radialing it up too much. It does cut out some time. And you can see they're going to be, all the artists here are using whatever tricks and tips they can get together to speed up their process here. So a lot of shortcuts, a lot of creativity.
A lot of get it done.
So the theme is tarot cards, and in each group, so the organic side and the hard surface side, there will be no duplicate cards. So organic, each contestant in the organic side will have a single card, so there won't be 2 deaths in the organic or 2 hangmans. And then on the hard surface side, it's the same system, so only 1 death on the organics. On the hard surface side, 1 fool, whoever it is. But
Yeah. I hope somebody picked the fool, but I bet you that would make them feel foolish.
Foolish. We do get to draw tarot cards again for the next group. We're going to get reassigned. So maybe we'll see when we get then.
Excellent.
I drew Temperance.
So, Hierophant always has kind of like crazy headwear. Like in all cards, he's wearing some like wild thing. What are the chances that this is a hard surface Hierophant?
It could be. Definitely could be.
Or it could be a knight, and then it's just like this space age helmet,
Could definitely be a knight.
Bringing tarot into the 30th century.
And the arcanas that we choose from, we had the major arcana, and then for the minor, we just did the face cards.
Yep.
So the swords, the cups, the pentacles, and the wands. And here we have the more of the hard surface side here.
I'm going to take a close in on our bottom middle.
So,
Boop.
ooh.
They're getting so elaborate.
The slash brush. And the contest this year is also the vanilla challenge, as we call it, because the contestants were not allowed to bring in anything except for a text file with their hotkeys and a text file with their UI. So everything you see here has all been done from a standard default installation of ZBrush. They were allowed to use anything that came with ZBrush, so they could open up Lightbox there, grab Earthquake, chop off his arm, and use that. You see a lot of people have been using the Julie model, has been a popular one here.
The skeleton.
Skeleton, yeah, a lot of them started from different parts of the anatomy models as well.
I really love the head structure on
Yeah, this one's
this
pretty
knight
cool.
character. It's just really, really cool.
So that's a huge even playing field this year. And it's interesting to see just how creatively people are starting to use the different stuff and trying to get their stuff completed.
And then our final box in the hard surface. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a hanged man.
And it's 2 hanged men now, it looks like.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why.
Hanging, hanged man.
Maybe they'll turn it into a fractal.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. All sorts of stuff. Limitless potentials. So once again, you guys are watching the ZBrush live Sculpt-Offs here for 2018. I have Jessica Drew here as my counterpart for the festivities. She comes through and helps me do this every year, and I'm very grateful.
It's too
Her coming
difficult to
out.
do by yourself. It really, really is. Like,
It'd just be me talking normally, just by myself. This is what I do anyway. It's nice,
You're like,
nice to have
"That's my
someone
day
else
job."
to talk to. So for the card assignments, each artist went through the list of cards that we gave them, and they picked their top 5. And then we drew their names out of a hat, and we went through their list. And the first one that was in their list that was not already taken, they were assigned. So that is how we kind of did the tarot card, kept it in the theme, you know, so keeping it random all the way through. And Jessica and I have no clue who is sculpting what now. We don't even know. We're in the same boat as you guys out there, and we don't know what card they're sculpting. So we are trying to attempt our guesses.
yeah. And that's also the challenge of the artist, to sort of clearly represent something.
To make it noticeable. And then you guys out there in the world of ZBrush will also be able to vote on these after the contest is over, and that voting will start on Friday. And you can do this at zbrushcentral.com, and you'll be able to vote on the image you like the best, which will determine the winners of the organic and hard surface side. There'll be a panel of judges that will come in after you guys vote. And just double check everything, make sure it's all good.
Yeah, make sure it's all following the rules.
Yep, fitting the themes. And then the winner will be announced there.
From what I see, everybody's doing an excellent job.
They are, it's incredible. And it's even more incredible when we gave them nothing. Stripped everything away. Nothing for you.
Now, how many artists, we know in general what artists are competing, but how many have competed before and how many are brand new to the Sculpt-Off?
We've had some repeat offenders, I guess, this year. So we've got some that have come in. Can't say any names because it's anonymous.
Yeah, you don't get to know who. But you can just check out the ZBrush website, all about the summit, all about the artists, all about the presenters, all about what's going on this weekend and what's available to you online or here.
Yep. We can, however, we'll show the video here of the artists that are competing in this group. And run that quick for you guys. we're gonna come back to us really quick. So
Oh yes, and the countdown.
I'll keep moving.
We're a little over an hour in.
Yep.
They're getting really far for an hour. Now, exactly how do you think that they're going to be pacing their final images? So they're going to sculpt for like hour and a half, noodle their final image for an hour, and then
Half an hour, I'd
like
probably say.
lighting and last
Yeah.
minute touches at like the last half hour?
Yeah,
or-
last half hour is usually when we've seen in the past for the Sculpt-Off. So
Yeah.
the people will get the majority of the sculpt done, they'll start rendering and
Right.
finalizing stuff about 30 minutes left. So
Oh, okay. So that's when they're trying to like pull in the final image. That's when things aren't going to change a whole lot except in color and
correct,
whatnot.
correct. So you guys are watching the ZBrush live Sculpt-Off. And the winners will be taking home these belts back here.
Oh,
So we have the large belts here. As you can see, we're under the 2-hour mark. So our contestants have already sculpted for an hour. So you've got another hour and 54 minutes of me and Jessica here. We'll probably take a little break here at the halfway mark here. So give you guys a little respite from our voices, at least my voice.
They'll still be sculpting, but we'll take a quick break.
Quick break. So we have a bunch of stuff lined up for this weekend for the summit as well. We'll get the schedule here put up quick. So the ZBrush summit today started with the Sculpt-Off. Tomorrow is Friday, and this official summit starts tomorrow at 12. If you're in the LA area, highly recommend coming out. You can come to the NOMA campus. Admission is free into the ZBrush Summit if you're on site, and you guys are also welcome to enjoy the ZBrush Summit from your current location. And if you guys are watching it and have some crazy setup, or you're sculpting and watching, we would like to see how you guys are viewing the ZBrush Summit. So please send in your images to the hashtag ZBrush Summit. We'd love to see how you guys are watching the events here. One note for things on Sunday, we have Epic Games scheduled at 12:30. That is only going to be able to be viewed if you are on site. So we will not be streaming that one over the world. So if you would like to see the presentation from Epic Games on Sunday, you gotta be in person. So head out to the summit here. And once again, the admission into the summit on site is free. Also, during the summit here, we are giving a discount on ZBrush. And so during this time, if you have not purchased ZBrush or you're on the fence about purchasing, there is a discount available during the summit here. So also take note of that. So now let's go back to our contestants here. Here's
I was
us
just
again.
checking everybody's tweets.
Here we are.
We've got a lot of folks that are watching from work and sort of have the Sculpt-Off sneakily in their corner and
then
their
just-
actual
they got the
work off
panic
to the
button.
side.
It's like the March
Yeah,
Madness.
no,
but
that's
for the
how I
Sculpt-Off.
function. My Max is
Do you want
most
your
of the
employers
screen.
to know this?
No, I mean they walk by. They know. I listen to podcasts and all that stuff, and then ZBrush over on the side. It's fantastic. I get my shit done.
That's all it's
so-
required. Once you get that done, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good. All right, well, one more thing we got to do quick is also our sponsors today. So we got a bunch of sponsors that have helped us get the Sculpt-Off to where it is and help us run it.
Seriously, they
So
are
we want to
wonderful.
thank Noman for allowing us to use their campuses and their facilities. So thank you, Noman. Formlabs, we want to thank as well. I've messed up my order here, and they're jumping to the titles here. Sorry about that. So Formlabs, we want to thank for allowing us. They're giving away prizes for the winners here. So they're giving the Form 2 printers for the winner of the hard surface and also organic divisions. Also want to thank Keyshot. And I want to thank Keyshot for allowing us to use licenses of Keyshot on all our machines here, which our contestants are using along with the ZBrush to Keyshot bridge to get their final images corrected and generated. We also want to thank Wacom. They're allowing us to, they loaned us a bunch of Cintiqs and a bunch of tablets. We have the most Cintiqs we've had for a Sculpt-Off yet, so we want to thank them for allowing us to use their devices, and all our artists here are sculpting away on those. And finally, we want to thank Carbon for giving our third prize winners. They're going to supply them with a print from one of their Carbon printers. So all sorts of good stuff. So thanks to all our sponsors for sponsoring us for this event here today at the summit.
Wouldn't be possible without that.
So now we're back to our hard surface side here.
We haven't looked at organic in a teens.
And you go to organic quick.
In just a sec, I just want to
just take it all in.
Yeah, take in the hard surface while you can.
And it's interesting to see, as we're rambling on for the last few minutes, just the amount of change which has happened. So there's already a whole bunch of different more stuff. We got some like
So
straps, and then we've got almost some Mad Max style stuff. I think we talked about Mad Max last time. We're always talking about Mad Max.
Last year was Wonderland, yeah?
Yes, we had Alice in Wonderland last year.
Switching to organic.
And once again, the theme this year is tarot. So each of the contestants here was assigned a tarot card. They got to pick their top choices and what they wanted to sculpt, and then their names were drawn out of a hat, and they were assigned the first one that may not have already been taken. And then each of them have a different card in the organic side, and each one has a different card in the hard surface side.
I love it. I really love how far everything is coming along.
And it's crazy to see how much they've got done just since, what was it, we at one,
Honestly,
it's like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, 10, 15, maybe. But do you want to take a zoom in of each of our sculptors, perhaps?
Let's go and do that. Now, Jessica and I do not know who's sculpting any of these, and we also don't know which card they are sculpting. So
But I'm leaning very heavily towards the Empress here.
this one's pretty good too. I like this one. And our contestants were
Empress
also
Leia.
Empress Leia. We're also only allowed to bring a text file that contained hotkeys and a text file that contained a custom UI. So they weren't allowed to bring their own brushes. They weren't allowed to bring anything else. No custom materials, no custom brushes, nothing. So they are using the default install of ZBrush here, and they were able to use anything. So they could open up Lightbox and take different models. So you can see this is one of the starts from the default head here. So it was another way to get their creativity going and thinking outside the box.
When you sculpt hair, what is your favorite standard or like comes with ZBrush?
For
brush to
hair
use?
sculpting, so I usually make my own.
Oh yeah? Well,
Yeah,
what's it
or I
like
end up-
then?
So I do a lot of I usually do a base block out, which
Uh-huh.
will consist of just the form, and that can be done with any of the brushes. So usually clay buildup is my go-to, and then with that and the new Sculptress Pro stuff, you can get a quick form. So I'll just draw out the shapes of the hair.
Yeah.
And then I use a lot of Dylan Ekron's brush, but if I don't have a custom brush,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and make a IMM brush that's basically hair. So it's like clumps of hair.
Yeah.
And then you sculpt that along the top of the surface, the initial surface, and that just kind of lays it on.
Oh,
So you set up a
nice.
guide and then use the curved brushes to trace the guide.
That's really cool.
And you'll probably see a lot of the artists here are gonna probably end up doing that if they have any hair stuff.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
they'll
with
end
a
up
lot of
using
these
some fiber
women
mesh or things like
characters.
that, yeah.
Now, this one we decided was most likely Justice.
Yes, because she had the scales. And now she's got
Oh,
the
they're
hair.
doing like the actual hair within.
The fiber mesh.
Yep. So they're gonna groom this. Oh, please still be Frankenstein. Frankenstein's bride.
There are gravity settings for the hair, and since she's kind of tilted back,
Save early, save often.
they'll be able to kind of use that gravity too for their effect potentially and have the hair kind of
that's
low
freaking
down the back
cool.
for at least the start. Got the base colors there. Let's go back to the group again. Go back to the organic here.
Oh, I could have just hit the other button and it would have just switched, wouldn't have. God damn it.
We got there. It's good. The one on the bottom, number 4 in the bottom. Which eye is left?
Middle. But, well, I mean, they're going to be viewing their screen the same way we're viewing the screen, so. Bottom left, yeah.
Our camera feed is definitely reversed though. That's what's getting me. You
Oh.
See? It's the other
Oh.
way. We're not seeing a mirror of us. Definitely getting into the ornate stuff. What do you think the middle bottom is? Number 5. Number 5 is alive.
I cannot even begin to fathom. However, I'm feeling it's just so like tree spirit god kind of style. Or
Does anything have orbs or do we have anything with orbs?
well, I mean, so Pentacles is also known for being like coins or discs too.
Could be discs.
So I mean, there's a ton of different influences there.
Internets. Do you have
Yeah.
any guess on what this one
Any
is here?
tarot experts watching, please give us your feedback. But also, it could just be like one of the king characters.
Well, wands definitely has like wood because there's a lot of branches
Yeah.
and stuff. So definitely the wands aspect. So it definitely could be something of wands. And as you mentioned before, the ace of the cards usually just ends up being a disembodied
Yeah. It's sort of
like
just like the
god
concept
over,
of
yeah,
the card.
yeah. So it's not
presenting.
really the king. It's not a knight. It's not
Yeah.
the page.
Now the page is the jack in a normal deck of cards.
Yes.
Could be a king of pentacles.
Could be. Let's see. Have to see how it progresses.
Yep. And then we haven't seen 3 at all. Oh, they're doing some really, really like detail-oriented, refined. Like they've already got like color sort of like tossed
Just
in
that
between it.
slight color, yeah.
But I don't know what to imagine this is going to become in the end of it all. It's still really beautiful.
Simplistic. And this one's getting there. This one's got the layout. We're end up adding the detail stuff. And once again, all the artists here today started from a vanilla version of ZBrush. And to clarify what vanilla is, it's basically plain, or what you have if you just downloaded the installer of ZBrush and just ran it and didn't add any custom hotkeys, or not a custom brushes, custom materials, nothing. So they were restricted, and they could only bring in a text file with their hotkeys and a text file with their UI, and everything else had to be the default standard installation. So they're able to pull from anything that shipped with ZBrush. So some of them started with different base meshes and Lightbox, made their own brushes. So we saw one a little while ago, and they were making their brushes so that they can use them in the models. So they weren't allowed to bring them in, but they could make them during the contest. So all sorts of cool stuff here.
It was really, really cool. Now, they're definitely sort of creating their card to be very dimensional, but also like taking advantage of how the final image is going to be just a one-dimensional
they're using
or
a
a
lot
one-directional.
of camera angle type establishing.
It's going to be really cool to see how they put together their final render with all of that depth too.
And it's interesting too this year. There's a lot of that's a lot of sculptural elements in that work too. Lots of stuff.
And then we haven't
figured out what this one is yet.
no idea.
Ooh.
Jinx.
It's always interesting watching these too. It's like, I didn't think it was gonna go that way.
No, I didn't either, and now I'm just really interested. Wow, their interpretation is so much fun that I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. Because it's got this halo, and it's got this sort of person with a mask, but like, are they becoming, is the mask being torn away from them?
Did we look at that one?
Oh yeah, we were watching this when you were looking at the hair.
The Princess Leia. It's very nice. Super clean too.
Oh yeah.
And this was the one that the custom brushes were made on the fly.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they did their shadow boxing of that like really cool filament element, and then made that into a brush so that they could use it and reverse it and place it all over. Let's take an overview of our organics.
Oh man, there's some craziness happening top and middle. Huh.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, I think this is the base for like hair, maybe.
Or
Yeah.
oh, it's just so cool.
Now it's almost like, well, it's definitely, we're pretty sure this one is
Justice,
but
not judgment. Which,
okay, yeah,
by
there
the
was
way,
two.
is
I
really-
thought there was two. Yeah.
Yeah. So judgment is a whole different ordeal than justice. Let me read you from my tarot cheat sheet. The last judgment, or just judgment in general. Change of position, renewal, outcome. And it could be, when it's reversed, sort of like weakness or decision or a sentence. It's good and bad. But I don't think anybody has judgment. I think this is so cool how they're having like these floating elements of leaves or petals.
and
coming
petals,
in.
yeah. It's pretty awesome. All right, so let's go back to our main group here for the organic side.
I love the really delicate painting that's going on in the top right. I never texture in ZBrush anymore, but I really love it.
The softness of it.
Well, it's also just really smart because all of the painting that they do in ZBrush can carry through over into
The key shot renders
Yeah.
or anywhere they want, yeah.
really smart. All of these artists know how to work smart.
They do.
not hard.
They all do. This one's pretty cool. The swords are now getting multiplied over there.
Our top left.
Yes, we're gonna come back and it's gonna be crazy.
Empress is gonna be sick. Now I'm saying Empress. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is. It's just my best guess.
Could also be Queen of Swords.
Shoot, it could. F. You know
It's
what?
a lot of swords.
Yeah, now that they've introduced all of the like sword elements, this is wow. I didn't expect very many people to kind of like make their top choices part of a minor arcana.
Well, if you're going for, something that's
Iconic.
iconic and also definitely makes it so that you hit
Yeah.
the name of the card.
Ooh.
Like if you do a cup or a
It is
wand,
very
you're
smart.
gonna know, yeah. So I think in some cases it's a good call. Because that's gonna be 100% and it's gonna match to it. All right, let's hop
some
over.
of my friends up in Norway are
Let's hop over to the hard surface here. We'll see these guys up. They're gonna start unveiling. They always keep it, you can work in solo mode, and so some of them you'll just see the flashes of the parts they're working on to isolate. We'll try to catch it when they go. Man, the one in the number 3 on the top there is pretty awesome.
Yep. Now it could be a Knight or King of Pentacle. Although, you know how I was like, oh, it's definitely death. Now I'm thinking that we've got an organic devil and a hard surface devil. Once they put the pentagram,
Yeah.
the pentacle up, not pentagram, but pentacle up top, I was like, oh snap, it's got horns, it's got the pentacle. That is definitely the devil. I wonder if everybody put devil as like their number 1 choice. They're like,
I don't know.
Demons.
They might have. So you're watching the ZBrush Live Sculpt-Off here for the ZBrush Summit 2018. The theme this year is tarot. And so the artists here were given a list of tarot cards they could pick from. They picked their top 5 they wanted to sculpt. Then their names were drawn out of a hat, and they went through the list, and as long as their first pick wasn't taken, that is the card they were given to sculpt.
Yeah.
So the cards are unique. And Jessica and myself, we do not know what card they are sculpting. So we are in the same boat as you guys. We were watching this as it develops and trying to see what the guys are doing and trying to guess which card it's going to be.
I love it. It's really cool to watch.
because we don't know. You guys will be able to vote on the final entries, so their final images on ZBrush Central, and that will start on Friday. We're going to take a break here, and then we'll come back. So me and Jessica are going to leave you with this.
I'm going to go eat a donut. It's going to be delicious.
So we'll leave you with the hard surface. Yep.
Okay.
And they may switch back and forth when we're not here.
But yeah, they'll keep you entertained.
They will keep you entertained.
Please share with us what you think is going on, what you think people are doing, and or which card would be your favorite and most ideal of cards to do.
And also, we'd love to see how you guys are watching the summit this year, so please send in your images.
Yeah, if you guys are all a group of friends watching, or if you're sneaking it but at work, let us know.
Yeah, use the hashtag ZBrush Summit and send along some images. We'd love to see what you guys are doing. All right, so we'll be back. We're gonna take a quick break here. We're at almost an hour and 30 minutes left.
Yeah, we're nearly at the halfway
mark.
point.
Well, I've been here for about 3 minutes and finally meeting this guy I've known for years.
Have an opportunity to spend some time growing together as artists.
It's just really exciting seeing where designers are going.
If you're not here, get here. It's going to be 3 days of fun-filled, interactive ZBrush mania.
Well, I've been here for about 3 minutes and finally meeting this guy I've known for years.
Have an opportunity.
Hi, my name's Ashley Adams, and I'm a character and creature concept artist currently working and living in Montreal, Canada. I stream on ZBrush Live at 8 p.m. EST on Wednesdays, and I also have my own channel, twitch.tv/a_cubed, and I basically just do 3D character and creature concept sculpting on stream. So stop by, say hi, and I hope you have a great rest of your summit. See you guys!
Everybody, this is Michael Pavlovich.
My name is Shane Olson.
Hi, I'm Shay.
My name's Ashley Adams.
My name is Anima.
I'm the Redbeard Matt Thor.
The big part of my workflow is trying to minimize
them in and subdivide them.
Back, so I'm really just looking for that shape there.
Hi, my name is Ayman Akhtar. I'm a professional 3D artist in Los Angeles, California, and I specialize in 3D printing in ZBrush. You can learn more about my work on Ayman Akhtar 3D on Instagram, and come join me on ZBrushLive.com Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll talk about cool stuff like making 3D printed character minis, making 3D printed costumes, and even using 3D printing to launch your own toy line, like my Fungusaurs here. See ya!
tudo bem? I am Ana Carolina Pereira, a technical artist from Brazil that streams ZBrush in English and Portuguese, talking about VR, serious games, and how to navigate the industry as a beginner. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram as Ana Carolina Arts, and you can stop by my stream at ZBrushLive.com. Can't wait to see you there!
Dementia. Ah, yes. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Just doing a little light reading. My name is Mike Thompson, and I'm an illustrator in the Washington, D.C. area. I like to draw and paint things for money. Some of the clients I've done work for are Warner Brothers, Dimension Films, Nike, and Marvel. I'm also one of the streamers on ZBrush Live. I hope you can check me there. I also hope you can come to my website, MikeTArtworks.com, or my social media, at MikeTArtworks. Take care.
Hi there, my name is Timothy Rapp, and I am co-founder of High Horse Entertainment, the two-man team behind the game Disc Jam. I've been streaming for Pixologic for a little over a year now, and I typically focus on ZBrush for video game pipelines. You can find me on ZBrush Live and the Pixologic Twitch channel every Thursday at noon Pacific. So come check it out.
Well, I've been here for about 3 minutes, and finally meeting this guy I've known for years.
Have an opportunity to spend some time growing together as artists.
It's just really exciting seeing where designers are going.
If you're not here, get here. It's going to be 3 days of fun-filled, interactive ZBrush mania.
Hi, my name's Ashley Adams, and I'm a character and creature concept artist currently working and living in Montreal, Canada. I stream on ZBrush Live at 8 p.m. EST on Wednesdays, and I also have my own channel, twitch.tv/a_cubed, and I basically just do 3D character and creature concept sculpting on stream. So stop by, say hi, and I hope you have a great rest of your summit. See you guys!
So I think what I thought was Hanged Man is actually the tower. Somebody chose the worst card in the deck. Which, I mean...
Not in terms of creativity.
No,
just
no, no.
in
It's not like
terms
a...
of vengeance.
Cool art.
Cruelty.
The worst circumstances. So I think that they're doing a little reverse psychology on you guys who are voting.
So welcome back.
Welcome.
We're gonna try to get some music next time so you guys don't freak out and go, where's the sound?
You missed us.
I was gonna sing, but they decided that was a no-go. No one wants that.
His song and dance routine, he practiced.
So we have an hour and 14 minutes left since you guys last, well, I guess that's all we have left.
Yeah.
And once again, you guys are tuning in to the ZBrush Sculpt-Off here in 2018. And let's get back and see what, because I remember the states that were kind of left in before we went and took our break. Look, I got a cup now.
Ooh. 1/12 of the overall competition is 15 minutes. They can get a lot done. These guys are complete pros.
So let's go back to the organic side.
Johnson Coca-Cola, I can pour it in your mug.
No, thank you. No. I got some coffee. No one wants me to do Sinatra. No, not a good idea. Thank you, Internet, but not a good idea.
Oh, snap. Somebody's already like rendering and getting a kind of idea of their final frames. God, I love
Well, we got an hour left.
artists.
So I think anywhere from probably
Over
an
an
hour to
hour.
30 minutes. Yeah.
He will always round down. Gosh, this is really cool. There's so much going on. And actually seeing how people are going to pick their color schemes.
Yeah, because they're all starting to do that now. Lots of hair going in the number 2 at the middle top there. And we got some crazy hands.
Yeah, their use of fiber mesh is incredibly smart.
Wrapping it around, getting that flow. Very nice. Let's go back to the all together here.
Oh, that button.
Sometimes we have to hit this button, then that one, or they just did that one.
So one that was kind of ambiguous before we left for break, but has now like really come into some details. I'm gonna go.
Zoom it in.
I'm gonna zoom in
Take us
on
in.
the
Oh man.
bottom.
This one's changed a lot too since we last saw it.
No, exactly. Like they've gone so far. Now this one has
those
me the
leaves
most
are cool.
intrigued because I don't know where they're gonna go, but I really like all the rough.
Let's see. Where's the? For some reason I don't know. I think of that one and I think of feathers.
Yeah, the hierophant.
I don't know why. Just maybe the name and like something to do with hippogriff.
It could be judgment
It could be judgment.
because it's just so abstract.
Yeah.
I
There's
love
definitely like some angelic wings or
Yeah.
something going on here.
Well, like I really like how much is still left for interpretation for that because my brain is filling in the blanks in all kinds of directions. Now, that makes me really excited to see where they're going to go and also like what their final framing is. It's just it's a really wild concept.
It is. And there's such a crazy headdress now too. Does anything have any of these art depict crazy headdresses?
Well, it's got like this halo effect.
There's the High Priestess, definitely.
Yeah. There's halo for the lovers. There's a halo on temperance. Could be Wheel of Fortune. I don't know. I still don't know. I'm very excited to find out. I love the very sculptural and rough way that they're presenting it.
And they're cleaning it up right now. So once again, if you guys are tuning in, this is the live Sculpt-Off for 2018, and the theme this year is tarot. So each of the artists here, we gave them a list of tarot cards they could choose from. They picked their top 5, And then we placed all their names in a hat, and when you were chosen, we'd go down the list of what you chose, and one of the cards would be selected, and that was the one they were assigned. Nice. So there will be basically a hard surface deck and an organic deck, and each of the decks will not contain a duplicate card. And we also limited them this year to only using the pure default install of ZBrush. So what this means is that they were only allowed to bring a text file to contain the hotkeys and also a text file for their user interface. So they weren't allowed any custom brushes, weren't allowed any custom materials. So it is a vanilla challenge. So all the stuff you're seeing here can be done with ZBrush right out of install, which is crazy.
A lot of skill.
A lot of skill.
Simple ZBrush.
And so some of these artists here have made their own brushes throughout the contest here. They've used all sorts of different functionalities. They've pulled some of their parts on their models from the default projects in Lightbox or even the IMM brushes that ship with ZBrush. So taking all those things and using them in creative ways to get where they need to be. So number 3 on the top, they're thinking is depth.
Interesting. Let's see what death looks like on my end. Where is my death? There's my death. So in my card for death are Smith Waite Tarot. It's kind of like this. It's basically one of the 4 horsemen of apocalypse kind of death. So he's on a horse, and they're just kings, queens. No one is safe from death. There's definitely some really death vibes going on. I really
like the paleness and
and the skull head.
It'll be interesting to see. So we've got, oh man, 1 hour and 8 minutes. We're down to the...
Ooh, this last hour is when you're going to start seeing the final composition come together. And composition is key. That's what they're going to be judged, voted on, is like their final frames. And I've been watching people saving most all throughout today.
Yes,
so
saving is always good.
I feel like we're going to be pretty all right.
Don't jinx it.
Knocking on wood.
So let's hop over to the hard surface and see where they are at now. Got some already sending back and forth to key shot.
Ooh. Now we haven't taken a close-up look at our top left in quite a while. I don't know what
This is the one that
doing.
kind of had like a robotic,
so it's like
Terminator
robotic
type vibe,
armor vibe. It's got all the tentacles coming off its hair and then out of its mouth. I can't begin to guess.
These are the ones that, you know, when you're talking about the other ones that had the more face cards, where you have like that symbolism you can pull in and instantly relate the card to it. So if you had the swords or the pentacles or the cups or the wands, you know, just throwing in some wands or some things would just instantly give you that process.
For sure. Yeah, I think that we'll start really understanding which these characters are as we head towards final renders in this next hour.
This one I want to zoom in on. Just like the ornate detailing that's already happening.
Really rad. I wonder how they're going to frame
There's
it.
like little butterflies.
Leaves, maybe.
Leaves? I don't know. They look like they got a middle kind of like butterfly thing going on.
You know, this will really sing when they put in different materials and whatnot on each bit.
I love those sharp edges all over the place.
Soft spot in my heart for scale mail.
I saw you have a whole costume with that going on.
I love making that stuff. You know, a friend of mine who's a blacksmith, he's gonna make a press for some leaves, and he's like, I can make you a couple batches in like copper or brass, depending on what patina I really want to go for. I can't wait. I love that I have a blacksmith friend. California.
My friend with the forge.
Yeah. No, but he's got like a full-on crazy forge. He's more than one forge.
Wow. Some people have more than one fridge. He's got more than one forge.
And a lot of hammers.
All right, so this one's definitely the one here is definitely getting to the pinnacles now. Oh,
Okay,
just listed.
you guys just missed it because it was on there for like a split second. But definitely a pinnacles, maybe a page, maybe a knight. I don't think anybody's really going to go for a page, just because of how interesting
Yeah,
armor is to do.
Probably knight is what I'd go
Yeah.
with. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles.
What's your guys' favorite card? You don't have to say what your favorite art is so far, but you could definitely tell us what your favorite card is. What would you sculpt if you were here?
The tower.
The tower. You're like 10 towers.
10 towers.
So our top middle is really kind of setting everything up for the final render, really? Like they've got
maybe
the
like a
face being
depth
pulled
or-
back
yeah.
from the star with a whole swoopy thing in back. Like I'm very curious how that's all going to turn out.
I'm just getting the frame for that built in.
And then bottom right, I've come to think that this is the tower. Like
You think that's the tower?
so hanged man with it, like a very Matrix, caught up in wires style thing. But now seeing it, it's like multiple people dangling from this like elaborate mechanical structure and cables. It feels very tower-like.
It does feel tower-like. See if they zoom out here and let us see everything.
Yeah, if they don't zoom out in the next couple seconds, we'll go back to an overview. We don't want you guys to miss anything, but we also love seeing what people are working on right away.
Yeah, let's go back to 5.
Yeah, let's go back to all of them.
Make it work. There we go. The one in the middle now went and put some curve stuff set up.
Ooh.
I don't know where that's one going now.
I think it's all about like the backdrop of like what they want to bring in
Fitting it in,
element-wise. It's so geometric. It's really beautiful.
So the final image that they're going to submit is going to be put into a frame that we've made to match a tarot card theme.
Ah, it's making everything kind of cohesive,
Yeah,
right?
so make everything cohesive, and then the image will be in the middle of it. So they have a PSD file that's set up, where they just need to deposit their render in, and then it'll already be set up and good to go. And then we'll go through and we're going to add the card name to it before it goes to ZBrush Central to get voted on. So you'll be able to see all the cards that make up the hard surface deck and the organic deck, and then we'll go through that. So let's quickly go to our sponsors here. And I've been given the correct order now.
So now
I was
it's
messing up the
a wild flashing through things.
messing up the votes, the
But,
slides.
This whole show, everything wouldn't be possible without the sponsors providing prizes, providing spaces, and
Equipment, all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff.
Like we're really lucky to have all their help and for just like a super selfless reason, just to make sure that really cool art is being made. Like I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, so we want to give a shout out to Carbon.
We got the order this time.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
It's all good. Okay, bottom right, totally tower.
Totally tower bottom right.
I love how it's giving me Ghost in the Shell vibes. I just love it. You know, I really like anime that brings in mystical or fantasy, but like, I don't know, kind of occult elements and whatnot, but not like overtly, but rather just to kind of enhance their storyline. So if you're looking at it, you're like, wow, I wonder what made them come up
Think
with
of that
that
route,
decision. You know, exactly. And then just knowing like there's so much depth to it, either through their own fairy tales and mythology and history, or stuff that they're borrowing from other cultures, or pulling from something that you don't
Man,
really think
this
about.
one's crazy. It's got all these.
It's bananas.
It does look like the tower. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
Because basically you don't want to be a human in that machine.
The tower machine.
I like it. They're taking on a very difficult concept.
Let's hop over to our organic side. Maybe.
Oh, it'll get there.
Wait for it. There we go.
Ah, top left. They're bringing it in and posing it. I love that. That's like one of the coolest things about ZBrush is you can sculpt things symmetrical, kind of T-pose, super basic, and then in the last moments, you're not going to lose anything, but you can pose everything like really dynamically and maintain all of that like detail and fidelity throughout. Now, what's your favorite way to pose something in the end of it all? Do you pose early on?
It changes. No, it depends. Symmetry definitely helps a lot because that's the core thing. But you can also use posable symmetry. And so if you're not changing the topology, you can go through and just pose it and then it'll still keep that symmetrical aspect. So you can sculpt the hand and it'll update on the other side. Array Mesh has some tricks too you can use for placing different limbs in different areas, and also the Gizmo 3D has helped quite a bit.
Cool.
For masking and rotating. So all sorts of ways. But it's interesting to see like some of how they all went through the poses. Some of them get them in early, some get later.
Yeah.
And we're under an hour now, so we're on our last
the race is
58 minutes.
Gosh. Now, top right. I love the pose that they're bringing in because, like, you know, before the character was just this like super straightforward and symmetrical thing, and now we're getting it like up in close and holding this wicked skull, but like she is also skeletal and creepy and delightful in the best possible way. I'm a big fan of creepy stuff.
Halloween's coming.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe it's already October.
You actually make tons of costumes.
I do.
As well.
I need to get on it when I get back.
So you haven't yet.
No.
Are you going to help out your kids?
Yes. So I believe my daughter will be Squirrel Girl.
Oh my gosh, though. Squirrel Girl is an amazing superhero. She's actually getting a television show, or she's going to be in a one of the series that's coming out.
Are they gonna get, was it Pam from Stranger Things to be her?
Really?
I don't know, I hope so. She'd be the perfect
There's so
Squirrel
many Squirrel Girl options. My friend Brittany is a huge Squirrel Girl fan before any of this had ever, and her husband was part of the crew that got John Barrowman to dress up as Squirrel Girl one year for Comic-Con. Yeah, it's kind of the best thing ever.
It is.
Only person to defeat Thanos single-handedly.
Yes, and all the Marvel Universe. But it was her clone.
She chose well.
Spoilers. It's a clone.
Wah, 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 wah. Spoilers over here. Well, how about your son?
I don't know yet. That's the wild card. I don't know how he's going yet. I've asked him a few times. He hasn't given me an answer.
Is it that decision making is hard, or does he like too many things?
Too many things.
Got it. I mean, is he superhero focused, or is he like Power Rangers? Wait, what's the Hero Academia is what's cool for kids right now, right?
Maybe. Sure.
What's he into?
Anything.
All of it.
Fortnite. Everybody's into Fortnite.
Oh my God. Is he good at it?
No.
Okay, that gives me hope. Well, because I mean, there's so many people out there that are like, 11 years old and have ridiculous aim control. Those well-trained little munchkins on the internet, I am not good at Fortnite. Let's spoilers, right?
All right, so you guys are watching the ZBrush Live Sculpt-Off here. We're going to give you a list of the times here, and then we're also going to go to our sponsors really quick. So this is the start of the summit, and we have 2 groups going here today. So this is group 1, and we've got a little under an hour before this finishes out. The theme this year is tarot cards, so we have currently 6 hard surface and 6 organic contestants competing here. And they're all competing for the titles of Organic Champion and Hard Surface Champion. So a lot on the line here.
We've had some amazing champions in the past years.
We have.
Like, this
lots.
is a real wonderful competition of supremely talented artists.
And for the schedule that's coming up this week, so Friday is the official kickoff for the summit itself, and it will start at 12 o'clock on Friday, and that is here on LA time. Now, if you are in LA, it is highly recommended you guys just come out to the summit in person. It is free to get into the summit.
Yeah, join us.
Join us for the events and the festivities. We have a whole group lined up here. For the Sculpt-Off you're watching, you will be able to vote on the winner, so who you guys want to see win will be done on ZBrush Central, and we'll have a whole thread set up for that. And voting will start on Friday, and then we'll finish on Sunday, and then we'll announce the winners on
Sometime
Sunday.
Sunday evening, right?
Yep, Sunday evening at 6 o'clock will be the Sculpt-Off belt ceremony.
Excellent.
Also, one thing to note on the lineup here you see for Sunday is Epic Games at 12:30 p.m. Now, this can only be viewed if you're in person at the summit. So this will not be able to be streamed. So if you're in LA, it's highly recommended you guys come out and see that. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors here. So we've been using all sorts of our sponsors. We're helping bring the Sculpt-Off to life. So we want to first start out with Carbon. They're giving us the third place winners of the contests here a free print, so they're helping with our prizes for the contest. Next we have Formlabs, and they are donating printers to the winners, so each winner will take home a Form 2. Next we have Nomen, and Nomen is gracious enough to allow us to come out here and use their venue. So we take over some of their labs here for the summit. We unplug a lot of things. And they are kind enough to let us use their facilities, so thank you, Nomen, for that. Also, we want to thank Keyshot. They are giving us the licenses of Keyshot for our Sculpt-Off contestants to use on the computers here, along with the ZBrush to Keyshot bridge. So thank you, Luxion and Keyshot, for that. And finally, we want to give a thanks to Wacom for supplying the Cintiqs and tablets that the artists are using here. So we have actually 8 Cintiqs in the Sculpt-Off this year. So 8 out of the 12 stations has a Cintiq on it. It's our greatest number yet of those. So thank you to Wacom for that.
Mm-hmm. But like, I really enjoy the Cintiq because it feels like I'm sculpting right there.
It's,
like,
yeah, because you can see
no
what you're doing. There's no separation. But if you played enough video games growing up, you know, the hand-eye coordination just lines up even on a tablet too. So it's just...
No, tablets are great, and a lot of my friends actually prefer the tablet because then they don't have to try to see through their own hand.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's like a real make or break it for them. I just love the feedback and spoiledness of having a Cintiq at work.
I find that I draw better with a Cintiq than I do with the tablet. The disconnect with the drawing is something, but if I can draw on top of it, it's much better. Sculpting either way. I can do either way.
Yeah, yeah.
So here we have our organic, and you can see they're already starting to comp some images here, using some AO passes and different things, getting their renders set up. We're down to the 52-minute mark.
Yep.
So we're getting close to the end here. So they're starting to compile their stuff here.
Yeah, getting all those final compositions, it's just really important to know where you're headed as far as the final image, because no matter how amazing your sculpt is, if you can't frame it appropriately or in a way that's very impactful or inviting.
And that's the thing, they're being judged on the final image too. So you guys are watching them generate it, but the image is what is going to be voted on by you guys at ZBrush Central. And then we have a panel of judges which will oversee those and double check things and see how that goes. And then they will determine the final winner for the hard surface and the organic. But you can see some of these guys, you know, they've been practicing.
Oh yeah.
They've been doing this for a while.
They had a really solid idea of where they were going with their sculpts and also like where they wanted to end up.
And we did give them some prep time for this. We didn't just throw them into this. We gave them about a month, yep. So that we gave them a little time to practice, set up those 3-hour timers and go and see what happens.
Yeah, can you imagine just like having to roll in Friday morning, no idea
like,
what
ahead.
you're sculpting? This would be a very different competition.
It would be. But we've also taken some of their, I guess, comfort zone away as well. For this challenge, it is also the vanilla challenge, which means that they were not allowed to bring anything custom except for a custom set of hotkeys and a custom UI. So no custom brushes, none of the stuff they're probably used to. They're like go-tos. We took them all away, and they had to start from a default installation of ZBrush. And here's Paul is bugging us now.
Hey, Paul.
You wanna?
Are you excited to see what you're seeing?
We can put Paul on camera here.
Which one's
Squeeze
the
him in
camera
here.
button?
It's this one.
This one?
There we go.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. I love I'm looking here when I should be looking.
Yeah,
there.
no, look
Yes,
up.
yes.
Okay.
That's where we've been
where they
looking
are.
all day.
Yes, that's what they're
And
looking
it's
at.
also reversed too.
I was really messing with it. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching.
I think we're gonna head over
To the hard surface. 49 minutes. 49 minutes.
The countdown is on.
And Paul is roaming around this year at the summit, so Louis Tucci will be the host for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Paul may fill in a little bit. So we should probably get him back for the second group so we can do his famous catchphrases.
What are his catchphrases?
I don't know, he's got a bunch of them. They're all 80s. All 80s
So
catchphrases.
much ham.
Look at here, look at here. But I have them too. I definitely pull out a lot of.
Well, you guys talk a lot. you
We
know.
do.
Not in a bad way. Sorry.
No.
A lot of your job
We
is
bicker at each
presenting
other.
and talking.
Paul's always yelling at me. It's very stressful.
Not. Can you imagine? Oh, it's really beautiful.
It's like a
They just need to
void.
3D print this
Just the middle part?
and give me it. So
It'd be
I
a pretty
can
cool
wear it.
pendant. Yeah.
It'd just be
or a
cool
headdress
in
would be awesome
general.
too.
I would wear the shit out of that. Are you kidding me?
You could probably make this happen. After we find out who this artist is,
Now,
we can make this happen.
who has to prep the 3D print though? That is the beast mode complication. Because this is obviously like a bunch of pieces all combined together. And to print something really cleanly, you need it to be kind of watertight.
Yeah, and some printers don't want intersections, others are okay with it.
Really?
Yeah, some,
Ooh,
it depends.
so complicated.
It depends. There's definitely a lot of stuff. And
mean-
the cost.
Yeah. Cost schmost. If I was getting third place, I would print this.
Print it up.
I'd be like, hey, Carbon, I got this headdress. They'd be like, is this your art? No.
No.
But I liked it.
Let's hop over to, oh yeah, this is the tower one, right?
Yeah. Now, this is like the first time we've been able to show you guys
The
up close
entire thing, yeah.
all of the stuff that's going on.
I really don't know how this is going to be framed. That's the question I have.
Good
Like, how are you
dang
going to
point.
frame it?
Maybe like a low angle camera, like looking up into it, and kind of like giving you some of the perspective of those dangling, dying humans. I don't know. It's really interesting. I know
Or maybe
that they've
bottom up, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Well, because
make
it
a
makes it
hole.
like so impressive. But I don't know what they've got in store. That's up to
So
the
the
artist.
contest for this group here is split in half. So we have 6 organic and 6 hard surface in this group. So right now, we can switch back to all of them here. Wait for it, wait for it. So there you go, there's a catchphrase. so here we have the 6 hard surface contenders right here. And then we'll switch to the other 6 organic.
Nice.
And then in our second group, which will start at 4 p.m., we'll have our other 6 hard surface and our other 6 organic. So we split them in to 2 groups here. So we have 12 computers going for each group. And once again, the theme this year is tarot. So me and Jessica here have a whole deck of cards, and the contestants were given all the major arcana, and then the suit faces of the minor arcana.
Arcana.
Arcana. I said it right a few times.
Yeah, no, that's the only time you've gotten it wrong.
It's the end. It's the end.
He is drinking
46
coffee.
minutes.
It's
I'm drinking
refreshing
coffee.
him.
It is.
He'll
We're
be
getting
with us in
getting
a
the
moment.
powers back.
Okay, so top right, you can already see how they're framing stuff. I didn't anticipate those colors, but considering it's this sort of like
Tarot
mech
card?
death creature guy, it totally makes sense. I love the breakdown.
And that one definitely has the pentacle stuff. All right, so let's go back to the hard surface ones here quick. See where they're at. Here we go, so we're up doing a lot of prepping.
Yep.
Lots of prepping. Some lighting.
I'm awful at lighting, but I love watching people do it because
it is a large part of the final image.
No, it super is. Like that
Yep.
final render, it gives you what you're gonna highlight. It can make or break certain details. Like a poorly lit sculpt is just gonna ignore so much of the form and flow.
Yes.
I love it. So I'm kind of really excited to see our Tree King turn into an epic final image.
It's so quiet. We're just in awe. I'm like trying to like catch up on all the images here.
I just really love it.
44 minutes left. So we should be seeing pretty much everything coming together. So the frame for the card, as you can see in some of these, you've seen is a portrait layout, so it's not a landscape.
Mm-hmm.
So all the images here are going to be in this kind of vertical format. And you'll see people playing with this format here. So it's a little bit of a change if you're used to especially rendering in like 16:9 or certain aspects. These are all looking really, really good.
No, I'm really excited. I'm still trying to figure out what our death lady is. If she's death.
Any guesses for number 3 out there?
Top
in the streamland?
right.
Top right, number 3.
I know somebody early on was saying death. She could be a queen, you know, and we haven't seen some final elements come together.
But we got 43 minutes left.
Do any of them really sort of depict a heart?
The lovers, but that would be the only.
Oh,
but
that'd
it's
be just
not
such
really.
a trippy interpretation of the lovers.
So just looking at we have a set of Smith Waite cards here. Looking for just the symbolism and just the art. There's some hearts on the Empress.
Oh, that's true.
Any hearts anywhere else? Now, once again, these are just these cards here. So it could be anything.
I really love it though. It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got so many people posting photos of them working
and watching at the same time,
or in classrooms.
Oh man!
Got a family where her daughters, 9 and 6 years old, are watching. I super love it. Like, no, art is awesome. Watching people make art is amazing. Slightly terrifying art. I apologize ahead of time for the nightmares, but hopefully there won't be any. I mean, all of this is just art and is meant to convey concepts.
And you're definitely watching the top artists in the fields for the digital stuff too.
These
like
folks
these
are
guys,
just
there's no, they're all putting in.
Yep. There are no slouches.
No, none.
Like, not only are they getting like really compelling final images together, but then they're also doing it in such a short amount of time. Everybody has been sculpting along with our artists at home, just trying to maybe test this concept for themselves in their own time. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazingly hard.
Oh man, we got a sickle on this one.
Oh,
Death?
heck yes. I don't know.
Do we have anything else with sickle?
Well,
Because it could be, so the artists were given each group has making a deck of tarot cards, and they're each given individual cards, so can only be one death. So if you see one of these you think might be death for the hard surface side, there's not going to be another one of those. So it's got to be something else.
Could be the Hermit.
The Hermit?
I mean, I haven't seen anything that really evokes Hermit to me yet, but then again, I haven't seen the final framing, every subtool unhidden, stuff like that.
So if you guys are just tuning in, this is the live Sculpt-Off here at the ZBrush Summit 2018. The artists here were given 3 hours from start to finish to complete a final image, which will then be judged on ZBrush Central and then through a panel of judges. The artists were given the theme of tarot cards, and all of them had to pick their 5 cards they would like to sculpt. Then their names were chosen out of a hat, and they went through the list, and only 1 card could be distributed to each artist in the organic side, and 1 card in the hard surface side. And so they went through all those and picked, and then each were assigned a card, and that is what they are generating. So 3 hours start to finish. We also gave them vanilla versions of ZBrush, which just means that they went through and only had a ZBrush version that was installed from scratch. So if you went and downloaded it from a My License page and installed it, that's what they were given to work with. And they had the ability to bring in a text file for their UI and a text file for their hotkeys, and that was it. So no custom brushes, no custom materials, nothing. So we also added that element into the mix.
I just wanted to see their final camera angle for what I thought was maybe the tower. I'm really excited to see where this one is going, like framing wise. It's hard to actually frame environment-centric models. Your camera makes or breaks everything. So I'm really stoked to kind of see this one. It might be a little bit too dark for you guys that aren't here, and I apologize, but just you can kind of get an idea of like exactly what angle
it's probably going to light up
up
here soon in a bit. We'll have to come back to it and
yeah,
see.
we can come back. But I just got really excited. I was like, they picked their camera angle. Well done.
Yeah, we were talking about earlier too. I see some comments in the chat on the speed in which these artists are working. They probably don't, they've got 3 hours for this one, and so it's probably if their employers are watching, they may have an interesting conversation at work where it's
production art is very different.
But there may be some conversations where it's like, so I watched that thing you did.
Positive conversations where they're like, wow, I really like your artistic decision making. Why don't we just give you a little bit
just
more
give you more leeway? Yeah.
That would be the best possible outcome, because let me tell you, creative license is rare
definitely makes artists
and
happy.
the best. Trust your
I agree
artists.
with that. So we're down to 37 minutes.
That is nearly no time at all. There's a lot that's going to happen in the next half hour, and these guys will all stay completely level-headed and cool and not stressed at all
No, not
about
at all.
the final 37 minutes.
No pressure. No pressure. I think they're all looking good. I think it's a great group of artists we have here.
Very much so. So top left, it's not really seeming like a sickle, but rather like a flag.
It's kind of bladed though. Because some of these, which ones have, like a lot of them have, some of the symbolism we have on some of the cards in front of us have horses or like people riding in.
Super true.
So it could be something like that where it's coming into battle.
Oh yeah, that could definitely, like originally we were thinking very knight with that one because it is an armored person, right? And that's very knight-centric and it works super well with the hard surface idea. The character having a flag behind them still is reminiscent of a lot of the knight characters.
It is, yes. There's definitely some symbolism in there. So let's see. Let's go up over to organic. Down to the ends as well.
Oh, very much so. We're starting to see final frames, finishing touches, last little doohickey bits. Technical term.
Technical term. Doohickey bits.
Spicy robots.
Shenanigans.
It's just an impressive amount of work, like everyone. And such a variety. I don't envy the voters, the final judges, like having to determine who they think is best, because it's a really wide range of styles.
There's a lot of stuff
and
here,
choices, and like, what are you guys looking for? What do you love the most? Is it the high detail? Is it the high concept, composition?
Yeah, and it's all so diverse. Like, definitely you can have like things you like between the different ones.
No, I love it. This was the best theme, you guys. I got the email with what the theme was a little while ago, and I was stoked. It's just really, really, really cool from an artist's point of view because it's a rich sort of theme. And there's a lot to do with it, and there's a lot of meaning that you can convey. And you know, artists, like, we every once in a while get to like put and instill meaning into our artwork. Not so much with production, because like production is what it is. But like personal art, it's like, oh, I really wanted to convey fragility or indecisiveness or power or strength. I love it.
Pretty awesome. All right, so let's go to the list of events that are coming up. So today is the first day of the ZBrush Summit, but this is not the public day, so it's just the Sculpt-Off day.
It's just for these folks.
Just for these folks.
But join us for so many events this whole weekend, starting tomorrow.
Packed full, yes. So if you have to work Friday, you can still tune in to all the events listed here. We'll start at 12 p.m. LA tomorrow on the 28th. And we'll also, the voting for the Sculpt-Off will also open then, and that will be on ZBrushCentral.com. So you can go to ZBrush Central and vote for your favorite image from the Sculpt-Off this year.
Very nice.
Continuing this through Saturday and Sunday. One thing to note for Sunday is that the 12:30 Epic Games presentation is on-site only. So if you're in the LA area and you would like to see that presentation, you need to be here on-site. Admission into the ZBrush Summit is free, so I highly recommend showing up for that. We also have another only at the ZBrush Summit. If you attend in person, we have the ZBrush Michelangelo Challenge. And this is a challenge which you sculpt for 15 minutes, and you have a chance to win a Ultimaker 3 extended printer. So some things there that are on site only, so definitely if you're in the area, come on out.
Yeah, definitely join us, try your hand at some sculpting.
And another thing with the summit, there is a discount for purchasing ZBrush, and that is taking place online and in person. So if you're on the fence about buying ZBrush, now is the time. 20% off. So now is the time. We also want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors here for making the Sculpt-Off here possible. So we first want to thank Carbon for supplying us for some of the prizes that our contestants here will win. We also want to thank Formlabs. They're going to be giving away 2 printers for the first place in the hard surface and first place in the organic. Also want to thank Gnomon for graciously allowing us to use their space. We're on the Gnomon campus here. We're in their labs.
We're all over
Gnomon, yes. So thank you, Gnomon, for allowing us to use your facilities. We also want to thank Keyshot for allowing us to use the Keyshot and the ZBrush to Keyshot bridge during the competition here, and also on our presentation machines and in the workshops as well. So thank you to Luxion and Keyshot. And finally, we want to thank Wacom. They supplied all the tablets and the Cintiqs for our events as well. So our artists are currently using and sculpting on either a Wacom tablet or a Wacom Cintiq as they're working here. So thank you to all our sponsors. So we are at the 30-minute mark.
No pressure.
No pressure. And we're going to just demonstrate here. So 31:25. We're almost at 30.
30 minutes.
So once again, the winners of the competition are going to end up with the belts. So we have a hard surface champion belt and also an organic belt. And they take these home. So these are theirs. And you can throw it around, hang it up, put it on your wall.
You guys are commissioning like an actual like weight belt.
Yeah, these are like official wrestling belts that we get made for this.
I love it. So there's just only a few out there in the world.
Only a few
How
out
many
there.
Sculpt-Offs have there been?
This is number, I don't know, you put me on the spot. I can't remember.
Is
it's
it
5
number
or 6.
5 or 6? Okay.
5 or 6.
So there's only a few belts out there. It's real bragging rights. Like
it is really bragging rights.
Really amazing artists have come through here, sculpted live, put their skills to the test against each other. But it's you'd think it'd be like more like her competition, but instead everybody's just stoked to see what other artists are making.
It's really a great
I love
community.
it.
Like they're all. I haven't seen anyone want to fight someone yet. So
how dare you have chosen that instead of me?
I wanted that card. So no, that hasn't happened yet. Theme this year too for the Sculpt-Off is tarot cards. So here's all the ones we have here. And so each contestant was given a list of tarot cards they could choose from. So we have Lesser Arcana in terms of the
and then
suits.
the Hierophant.
Yep,
which
and then we have.
I don't think I've seen yet. I've got a couple people that I was like, oh, maybe they're.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe
that's it.
It's a really cool one because it's trippy.
And so they had to pick one of these cards, and so the organic side will have a deck of their cards. So each one is going to be unique, and then the hard surface side will have a deck as well, all unique. So we made it so that you're not going to see any repeats. So there's only going to be one of each card
Yes.
for organic and one of each card for hard surface.
Now there's a lot of choices. Like just within the high major arcana, there's 22
there's
options.
22. There's a lot. So.
I was expecting everybody to kind of hang out in the major arcana instead of heading over into the minor arcana.
I think we have a lot. Like, I mean, there's definitely.
Minor arcana is iconic. Like you can really tell when it's aiming towards that. You know, it's like Queen of Swords. Oh yeah, obviously. Well, now I mean, they had to add the swords.
So we're officially under 30 minutes now. So we're gonna just
30 minutes.
We're gonna try to play it out so you guys can see all 6 and 6, and we'll switch back just between the groups. And then when we get to the countdown,
Yes.
We'll do the bell ringing here. They all have to put their pens down and stop.
We're watching.
And then we'll sign you guys out with the schedule again and probably the sponsors as well. So we want to get you into the last 20 minutes here. We're just going to probably do just 6s and 6s all the way out. So you guys can just see the final steps each one's choosing.
All right, we're going to go to hard surface.
Hard
surface.
And once again, if you guys are watching this at home, we'd love to see how you guys are participating and enjoying the event. So send us your images. You can send them to the hashtag ZBrush Summit and just send those there. And then we're gonna see if we can get a way to kind of throw those guys up for you as well. So here we have the final 30 minutes of the hard surface here.
Yeah, and you're really starting to see like what people's cards are going to look like. What their final frames are, colors, like color choices, glowing things.
Glowy bits.
So
We'll talk about
everybody's
glowy
been
bits.
sculpting for about 2.5 hours now.
Yes.
And with under a half an hour left, it's a little bit to the wire. I don't imagine they're going to be sculpting anymore. I think it's going to be like final little minute details,
Tweaks.
maybe material blocking, color blocking, composition noodling, render passes. Like some folks, I saw them getting some amblock passes as well as some Z-depth passes.
Yep. Just to make things pop and layer them over top of each other. So all sorts of stuff there.
How often do you do a final like image of your models when you're sculpting, when you're working on stuff? Or do you just kind of turntable and that's your delivery?
Usually final images more than turntables now.
Yeah?
Well, I've been more art for myself than I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
Projection too, so it's a little different, depends on what your setting is, but
Yeah.
definitely final render stuff. I do enjoy lighting the models and material
the whole
passes.
process.
Yes, texturing is probably the only thing I don't really touch as much.
You're missing out. Texturing's super fun. I do love texturing. Don't get me wrong, but it is a whole other beast. It's kind of cool though to watch people like kind of dropping in colors, textures, and paints and whatnot in ZBrush so early on. Like they're really deciding like the final look and details of their characters really early.
Yeah.
Like, I was seeing color. I was seeing just like skin tones and everything, you know, in the first hour.
Yeah, and the contestants here too have 2 monitors, so if you don't see a lot of stuff happening on someone's screen, they're likely using their secondary monitor to finish their stuff up.
Nice.
So that's why if you see any long pauses on the stuff here, they'll have 2 monitors. In terms of, we had some questions about the tarot cards being used for good, not just evil. And you were talking about how you draw them out in the course of a divinity thing. If they're upside down versus right side up, they mean different things.
Yeah, well, I mean, so like there's the whole tarot, like it actually means something real and is magic, and there's that line of thinking. But then there's also just using it as kind of like a creative inspiration, because each card is sort of like attributed to like a meaning or an idea. You could use it to be like, while you're working on a story, while you're working on an art piece, or something and you're kind of stuck. You have an understanding of your character, but maybe you don't understand where you want the character to go. You could just kind of draw a couple cards and imagine how that fits into the universe for the character and whatnot, and just be like, oh, what would be the tower? Let's talk about like the worst card of the deck. What would be the tower for this character? And like maybe the character, you know, for that character it would be like losing its quest or death by dragon or something like that. So like it can kind of help you just think about and approach like a story or creative problem differently. Some folks just like the whole concepts and they love doing the art and it kind of gives them something to draw.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you know what?
It gives
I'm
it,
kinda
it's like
dry
an
on
idea
ideas.
system. Yeah.
Yeah, it says just really consider it like an idea or a concept system, and you know, it's just art on cards.
Art on cards. Now let's hop over to the organic side here. Yeah, because this is like that random element, because I know a lot of, you know, if you're looking for ideas for conceptual stuff or other things, definitely just having some random elements. I know there's companies that now make deck of just concept cards.
Ooh.
And you can just you can build your own decks, and then you choose like different elements out of it. So you choose like, well, I need where's this character from? So you pick the one card out, and then what kind of character is it? And you pick the other card out, and you build decks based on concept.
So if you're like playing D&D and you don't really know the details beyond like, oh, I'm gonna play like a dwarven cleric, and you're like, oh, but I need to make a compelling backstory and I can do anything, I just need some decisions made. You could just be like, oh yeah, well they grew up in the elven city Kolonosti or something like that, and it's like, oh, how did a dwarf get there? And sort of just like decide things from that. Like I like that.
Are you still doing D&D in costume?
We are planning a D&D in costume. Oh, okay. So we're planning a D&D game in costume for the end of November, and the character that I'm choosing this time, I'm going to be a human cleric who's obsessed with elves in the same way that weeboos that are obsessed with Japanese culture. So, like, he can totally speak Elvish, but it's old-timey Elvish, so all the elves are like, oh, we don't really talk like that anymore. I don't understand. So obsessed with elves and culture and like that, and but is unfortunately a part of a cleric system that requires celibacy. So this dude is going to be trapped on a ship with like a whole bunch of elf ladies. So it's going to be very anime style, at least for me, from my perspective. I'm stoked for it. I'm going to build like a heavy robe and a big old wizard kind of cleric book.
Now you started playing D&D recently too, right? Like you haven't been playing forever.
No,
right?
I've been playing since I was about 14.
Okay, so you do have a longevity. I've picked it up later, and it's I have a group that I play with.
What are you playing?
We're doing vampires now. One of our
There's
DMs is running his own campaign.
Are you playing World of Darkness vampires, or are you doing
all his own.
your own system?
Yeah.
So they're.
But it gets into a lot of shenanigans.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I love tabletop gaming because it is collaborative storytelling. Like Talk About Tarot is like a storytelling element. D&D, all of these things with your friends. But I'm also the person that sits there and plays and then just draws what's going on, like a perpetual storyboard of the game. I love hanging out
I have
with my
gone
friends.
through and I have sculpted all the people's characters.
Did you print them out
Not
like
yet,
little mini
not yet.
figurines?
I need to finish them eventually, but I did go
so
through
cool.
because everyone has their own views on what their character looks like, and so I got them to send me reference images of what they thought it
Just
looked
like what they're jamming on?
Uh-huh.
You gotta put, never mind. You don't have Twitter or anything, so you can't post this so we can enjoy too. Joseph?
I haven't gone stealth mode. Stealth mode.
It's okay, you've got work to do. Friends of mine just started up a vampire campaign just in time for the month of October,
That's
which
perfect
is
time.
all spooky and stuff. But they're streaming it over on Geek and Sundry on Twitch TV. It's a lot of fun. Vampire is one of my favorite systems. They did a documentary about it recently, and I got to be in that documentary, talking about being a huge dweeb. To be fair, I say that.
You gotta live up to it, though.
I say that with love because I really do enjoy this stuff. But this is why I'm in video games, and am so very fortunate to be an artist working in video games, making elves and crazy stuff all the time. My life is very good. I love this industry.
So we're down to the last 20 minutes. We're gonna start shouting at the contestants here when it gets to 15.
Just some wonderful, wonderful progress. I really like that none of them have had to worry about UVs at all. Those lucky ducks. Wow, Yeah, that heart looks really realistic. There isn't a heart model in the in the Z tools.
No, there isn't. So that had to be made.
Which is very anatomical.
Actually, there might be. There might be one of the projects may have it. I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I mean, I haven't gone hunting for
For
a
it,
heart,
yeah.
But yeah, she's really pretty. Very compelling creepiness.
We should be getting to the ends here, so.
Wow.
Let's check on the hard surface.
Please.
See what they're up to. Towards the ends here as well.
Yeah, everybody's really just got this stuff framed. Now they've got 2 monitors that they're working on, so sometimes what you might be seeing is not what they're actively working on too.
But they should be getting to the end. So some of these may be like surprises, like when you see the image to vote on it on ZBrush Central, because
they could be having like their Lightroom and Photoshop on their second monitor.
yep, and just getting those last tweaks in. So
Yeah, it's just really fantastic.
so definitely. The voting for the Sculpt-Off will start on Friday at ZBrushCentral.com, so definitely head over there to vote for your favorite.
I mean, I like P-Tech. I super do. I like textures not being UV dependent, but tell that to the game engine and get back to me.
Game engine like, game engine don't care.
Game engine doesn't care about nothing. Game engine does what it wants.
Game engine gonna take your mesh and triangulate it.
It's super true. Game engine's gonna flicker and shit.
All right, let's hop back over to organic. All right, so I think we need to go through and we need to decide
Okay,
which ones are what.
You have to tell me what you think.
Okay, so
Top left.
top left, number 1. I'm gonna go with Queen of Swords.
Okay.
Queen of Swords. That's my vote.
Where's your card for that then?
Unless I
she
dropped
is.
it on the ground. All right, so that one's been pulled.
Okay.
Top middle, number 2. I'm gonna go with. I think Justice is the good one.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty choice.
Because I don't think it's Judgment. I think Justice.
Yeah. Judgment is a whole other
Yeah,
pile.
so Justice, middle. Okay, number 3, top number 3.
A lot of the internet thinks it's Death.
Okay, let's go with Death.
Yeah, we trust you guys.
So we're gonna go with Death for number 3. The Devil, definitely. I'm gonna go with
Certainly.
that one.
Yeah, there's no denying.
Then number 5, bottom middle.
King of Wands?
Yeah, definitely I'm gonna go with Wands.
But it could be the Emperor.
What has leaves? Look for leaves.
Well, there's not. You know, there's so many different versions of art for this that it's that's tricky.
All right, let's go with the King of Wands. Let's
Yeah.
try that one. So here, I'll give you that card.
And then the final one. This one's hard.
You guys out there in internet land have any guesses for the number 6 here?
The bottom right.
Bottom right.
Because it's so wild that it's just like, what is it saying?
Man, I don't know.
Like it could be judgment, it could be, gosh,
I think I'm gonna get this one wrong.
the star, maybe?
It definitely has like a judgment vibe too.
Yeah, but we've judged.
Internet says judgment, maybe?
Nah, but we got a judgment. Well, then what's the lady with scales? Yo.
No, we have judgment and then we have
Oh, we
justice.
have justice.
So it could be judgment.
It could be judgment. No, you're right. Sorry, internet. I didn't mean to diss on you.
Sorry, internet.
No, you guys are smart and totally on it. That's what I get for having the cards be so tricky. So you're thinking Judgment. I'm kind of thinking Star.
It could be Star, but Star is like such a. You want it to be like it'd be like a definitely center thing, and there's no like Star would be detached, right? So it'd be like something, an element that's not at the character. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got like the halo above and.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I don't know.
To the hard surface. This is yours.
Oh shoot! The hard one. You do realize that, right?
You did give me the first one.
Ah, I shouldn't have. I was feeling way more confident about our organic sculpts. All
15 minutes left.
Our top left, number 1. I'm calling it maybe a night of.
Night of what?
A night. I wish there was some sort of symbolism element brought in.
What about?
Because it could be death.
It could
as
be
well.
death.
But I mean, it's not
Definitely
really
could be
depicting
death.
death in the face, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's no skeletal elements.
Mm-hmm. Because this one, the third one on the top,
Okay.
that could also be death too.
I think the third one on the top right, so the far right, I think that's death. Or the devil, sorry.
The devil?
I think it's the devil. Once they drew in the pentagram, that's when I was like, oh, yes, definitely.
It could also be something like, say, like the King of Pentacles, right?
Yeah, but it's slightly different because it's, you know, it's got so many, you know, the horns, the pentagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
I mean, there is a chance that it's the Knight of Pentacles, but I don't think so. I think our top middle is maybe the sun, maybe the moon.
Sun, moon.
Yeah. I mean, it also could be like the High Priestess, right? Because it's just this very like interesting version. Maybe a High Priestess.
High Priestess, could be.
Yeah. The bottom, I think, is the Knight of Pentacles. For sure, because I mean, it's armor, pentacles are on it. You know, it's got this full helmet and whatnot.
It does, yeah. I'm
There's
gonna go with
nothing
Knight for
overly,
Pentacles.
yeah, overly depicting anything, any which way. Middle bottom,
King of Swords.
definitely Knight of Swords.
Knight of Swords.
I mean, it could be king, like, right? You could kind of interpret a lot of the stuff that's going on the top of the helmet as a crown. But no, it's so armored and heavily armored that it feels very Knight of Swords. I love how everyone's favoring the sword deck, you know? And then bottom is definitely tower. Bottom right, tower for sure.
Tower.
Although I was leaning towards Hanged Man early on.
So now you guys can see the template that they were given, so they need to paste their final image in this. And then we'll collect these images, and then the title of the card will be established and then put on.
We're collecting images in
ZBrush
13 minutes.
Yes, not a lot of time, 13 minutes.
Very little time left.
Let's check out the organic subdivision. Finishing it up, finishing them up. The pressure, you can feel it building in the room.
Yeah, everybody's very quiet and very focused right now.
I haven't seen any tables flip, so that's a good sign.
These are very heavy tables bolted into the ground.
I'm pretty sure they could
If they
probably flip.
flipped one of the tables, they'd be flipping the table for 6 other artists. Detrimental. I love all the styles that are really included, you know. Justice has got such a... There's this one comic book artist that did like Lady Death and some other characters. There's just like super iconic, and I feel like the hair and the face are very reminiscent of his style.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really fantastic.
So what do you think, Internet? Would you want a set of tarot cards with Sculpt-Off art on them? Just throwing it out there. Sculpt-Off tarot card decks.
I would love that. But you and Paul would have to fill in all the blanks. No pressure,
No
guys.
pressure.
Especially like the really, really difficult to like imagine ones, like the world, judgment, wheel of fortune.
So we're getting a lot of yeses for that.
I would love like, you know, like relief sculptures. So like it would be printed but not very
really
deep.
Yeah. Oh,
That
like
would be
embossed kind of stuff.
Amazing. Just like a very bas relief
Mm-hmm.
sort of style.
You have to do something to the back though, so you didn't know you were gonna flip that tower card over. Like, I don't want the tower.
Be like, I can already tell.
All right, so we're at under 10 minutes. So this is the finals here. Final.
It really is.
And then we're gonna ring this loud bell again behind us. It's so loud.
It is really loud, and it's louder the closer you are to it.
And at that point, pens down. Pens down. And then this is group 1, so after this group has finished, we'll see you guys back
At
on
4
the
p.m.
stream at 4 p.m., and that is LA time. So definitely tune in later on this afternoon. Hopefully some of you guys will be done with the workday and you can tune in at home. It is Friday. Is it Friday? No, it's Thursday.
Today is Thursday.
It's Thursday. I'm losing a day.
You freelance brained.
I'm on
Little
LA
jealous.
time. LA time. Let's
LA
go back
time
to
is a whole day.
whole day ahead. Let's go back to the organic quick.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff.
Switch back and forth on these a few times. Got
It's gonna
8
be
minutes.
very hard to vote. So many wonderful, wonderful creations.
And all the artists just collapse after this is over too. You just see them like just falling out all over the summit. Like they're just on like tables and benches and halfway downstairs.
We do pump like caffeine and sweets into them right afterwards for that adrenaline crash. Gosh, I love the bottom right composition.
Oh man, we got some people watching in the UK. It's midnight there.
Ah, you guys are true.
Dedicated.
Yeah, truly dedicated. But really happy to have so many folks watching from all over. And this is going to be available to watch later on, right? I mean, they've made previous years available afterwards at some point. Although it's way more fun to watch it and then vote.
This is true. So it would be Friday if you're in the UK. Is that what we're getting here?
Almost. It's minutes away from Friday in the UK.
People from the Philippines? Oh man, it already is Friday.
Gosh, yeah.
Mexico. New Zealand.
Oh, good morning, New Zealand.
Russia.
Awesome. It's not cold yet in Russia. It's never cold here, but it's not cold yet in Russia.
Let's go back over to the hard surface. We're down to 6 minutes. Poland, India, Spain.
Gosh, I love how
Brazil,
everybody's from all
France.
over.
Argentina.
We
Italy.
have artists from all over.
All over.
So your country might be representing.
Tell you, we do a summit like a world summit Sculpt-Off. It's like the World Cup.
Ooh.
It's all teams from around the world.
How do you do the pre-rounds?
I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm going big picture.
Oh, because then you could like fly people out?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. Final framing. Gosh, these guys are cutting it to the wire. 7 minutes left. Oh, 6. Shoot, 6.
6 minutes. Daisuke, he's saying he's from the media desk. He's actually from Japan. 5 setting up stuff. 6 is setting up stuff.
So cool.
Setting those last materials, pumping the renders. Let's hit up the organic side again. Oh, we were already on organic. Switching around.
There we go.
There we go. Wait for it.
I very dig the Muka vibes of the top right. It's got a little bit of like stained glass in the background.
I like it. And he made the stained glass in ZBrush quickly too. It was like a pass. And pulled it in. Four minutes. We're getting to the end.
Gosh, he's really cool.
Yeah, so if you're not seeing any action on the screens, they do have 2 monitors, all the artists here, so they may be doing their final stuff on there. So you get another surprise when they unveil what they are.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes crazy to see the change from when you've seen it last. As you noticed throughout this whole event, like the difference in what 10 minutes can make.
Yeah, just even the smallest amount of time, they'll get so much done.
Really awesome stuff though.
Yep, very good theme, very good artists, great job. No pressure, team 2.
4 minutes. And hop back over to hard surface. Yeah, so number 4, she's gonna leave you guessing until the final image.
Yep.
And number 5. Clock is at 3 minutes. 3 minutes and 24 seconds to be exact.
Nice.
I round up and round down just whatever I feel like. Yeah, it doesn't, it's just whatever I feel like. Back to organic.
I feel like a lot of folks are calling it done. And,
I think so. They've
and not going to worry themselves down to
the
wire.
last minute. Yeah.
Dang,
Safe,
that's
playing it
confidence.
safe. Playing it safe.
Safe, or is it?
Oh, look, we got thanks all. Done.
Aww.
That was the Text 3D plugin. Dum dum.
She's really cool. A little over 2 minutes left. Yeah, this is going to be just super impressive. Oh, the backlight really made
Yeah,
the
it's pretty
King
awesome.
of Wands sing.
And make sure you guys, if you're watching this, make sure to vote for your favorite image. These will be up on ZBrushCentral.com. And I think the voting will be starting on Friday. So definitely log into ZBrush Central and vote on your favorite image.
Definitely vote.
For both
'cause,
hard
like,
surface and organic.
we want to pick the best winner, and it comes down to like just like a variety of perspectives and everybody telling us what you like, what you want to see.
Let's check on the hard surface quick.
They got so far.
Shuffling cards.
Oh,
we got,
yeah,
we got to
sorry,
draw
I'm-
them again.
I'm shuffling my tarot deck of only the good ones.
Only the
I
good
left
ones.
the tower out. F that.
No one's getting the tower. It's 49 seconds. This is it. Let's hit these up real quick.
Yes.
As fast as the machine will let me do it. And then we're gonna ring the bell, so don't be alarmed. It's gonna happen here.
Or be alarmed.
Be alarmed.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Save your files now.
Save.
Nervous laughter just went through the whole lab. It's like,
All right.
Okay. So the countdown is real this time. I'm gonna watch them. You ring the bell because I'm gonna make sure that styluses are down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Amazing work, guys. Seriously.
All right. I'm gonna have you hand that over there. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in
Seriously, thank
to
you.
the first group for the Sculpt-Off here. So we had 6 hard surface and 6 organic contestants competing in this group. We'll be back in 2 hours, so at 4 p.m. Is that right?
Yeah, at
That's
4
right.
p.m. and we'll have another 6 organic and 6 hard surface modelers working
Ready to
very
go.
diligently on their whole new cards.
Yep, because we don't know what they are either. So.
We don't know. We're very excited. Really excited to see, hear what you guys think, what you guys like, what cards you want to see more of, what cards you think those were.
Yes, all your guesses.
But most importantly, definitely vote. Starting tomorrow, all the way through to Sunday.
ZBrushCentral.com will be posting all the images that were here, and then along with the second group, and you can log in and then vote on your favorite cards. We want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. So without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to get the Sculpt-Off together. So we want to thank them all. So we want to thank Carbon for giving some of the prizes for our winners in the competition. We also want to thank Form Labs. They are donating the first place prize, which is a Form 2 for the hard surface and organic champion.
Best prize.
We also want to thank Noman for graciously allowing us to use their labs and their facilities for the ZBrush Summit. So thank you, Noman. Also want to thank Keyshot for allowing us to use versions of Keyshot on all our machines here and using it with the ZBrush to Keyshot bridge. And all our contestants here, I think you saw a lot of them rendering inside of Keyshot. So thank you for that. And finally, we want to give a shout out to Wacom for supplying the Cintiqs and tablets for this event. So it was big help, and the artists have been able to come in and use these devices to complete the artwork you just saw. I want to give a quick rundown on the schedule for the coming days. So today is Thursday, the 27th, so we have another group for the Sculpt-Off, which is happening at 4 p.m.
2 hours from now.
2 hours from now. On Friday, the summit will start, and this will include all the presentations you're seeing currently on the screen here. So we'll start at 12 o'clock on Friday. Now, if you live near the LA area, you can come out to the summit on site for free, so there's no entry cost to the summit. Or if you're in the distant lands that we saw around the world, you can
All
always
over the
tune
world.
in and stream to the various presentations. Now, the presentation on Sunday of Epic Games will not be streamed. So you need to be in person here at the summit in order to see that presentation. So just one note on that, and that is the Epic Games presentation that is on Sunday at 12:30.
Yeah, that lets them show a little bit more than they normally could, but that they don't want released straight up to the internet. So it's common practice, but it also gives people here in person incentive to come on out.
It does. So come on out. We also have the Michelangelo Challenge, which is happening on site as well.
I can't wait to see some
Which
of
is
those.
another crazy thing. We're taking the artists and only giving them 15 minutes. So
Are they posting those online? Is it
we
going to be a
will
voting, or is
eventually,
it a
but right
judges?
now it's going to be all internal here. So we have stations set up. You can come, sculpt for 15 minutes, and you have a chance to win an Ultimaker 3 extended printer. So big prize there as well.
Super huge prizes.
So thank you guys for coming
Thank
out,
you
and I want to
again.
thank Jessica for
Wanna
being
thank
here and
Jessica.
hosting this. And we will see you guys in a little under 2 hours.
Yep, just in a little bit. I'm going to eat lunch.
Remember, send your pics in of how you're watching the summit. Use
Yes,
the hashtag
please.
ZBrush Summit and send us those images. We want to see if you're. I had my feet up. We were all over the place. It was a mess here. That's how we were watching it.
We're super casual.
Thank you all.